Want this?
Looking great. Do I want this? No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
What game's that from?
Ghosts and Goblins. I'm sending out the special tweet because I didn't want to tweet until we were actually live. There we go.
Tweet with your special tweet.
All right, I think we're good. Okay. All this is all screwed up. All right, we'll do it live. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast, episode 854, the Sinistea podcast. The Go Nintendo podcast is a part of nothing. Nothing at all. Mom Brain, I'm going to read it because I have my phone plugged in. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
I'll read it like you. Sinistea is said to have been born when a lonely spirit possessed a cold, leftover cup of tea. It's a nice cup. It's a nice ghost tea. Spirit tea. Yes, Nikki Hill? Confused? I don't know why you're confused. It's just a normal Pokemon. It is 4 inches. It is 0.4 pounds. Gender is unknown. I guess there's no way to tell the gender. What are you looking at? It's fine. I don't have COVID. It's fine. I'm taking a COVID test right now, people, out of an abundance of precaution. But I only have a few minutes left on the test, and there's not even a faint line. I got 2 lines. Everything's fine. There's nothing here. And its category is black tea. Abilities: weak armor, physical attacks to the Pokemon lower its defense stat, but sharply raise its speed stat. There you go. Thanks, me. You're welcome, me. Yes, here.
Why do we have to be here?
Doing
We
a
don't.
Oh,
He
I
just
get it.
wants-
I get it. I
He
get it.
wants live witnesses.
I have 2.5
for when
minutes
he's
left on my test.
patting
There
himself
is
on the back.
no line at all other than the clear line. So
That's
I
not
think
clear. That's control.
It's a joke. Jeez. I already made a joke about there being 2 lines. Holy moly. So
Hey, how
I'm
does my
fine.
backdrop look in the?
I can't see.
Oh.
I can't see.
I was thinking about buying one of those. Costco has the waterfall lights.
Oh, yeah.
where you can
You-
do like
you
a whole
can-
10-foot section like that.
Yeah.
You can hardly see it, to tell you the truth.
Do these
Alright.
have motion as well as an option, or
No.
they're
There you go. Now you can see it.
that's how they're made though, right?
Mom
They're
Brain,
across.
in honor of the Go Nintendo Awards today,
Oh right.
hung up a red curtain with Christmas lights. So now you guys can see it.
Nobody sent me nominees.
Well, I got great news. You get to give out your own award today.
Oh,
get
this
to
is
give one?
beautiful. Yeah, look
I
at
didn't-
that.
I didn't have an award.
You got a
prepared.
whole show to think of it. So don't worry. I'm just making this up now. I did my part. I put together the whole thing.
And I did my part.
Oh, yes. She hung the curtain. Yes. George is looking fancy over there.
Yeah, George looks great. He looks like Al Pacino at that Game Awards.
Mom Brain is here.
Great
Shazam.
limes.
Nikki Hill is here.
Hi.
Kirby's not here. He's doing something
Sounds like
significant
he didn't do
other
his part.
related. Deux is here virtually because he's not feeling well.
Uku, have an Uku New Year.
Josh Grobot is here, of course. Josh would never miss a show. Josh, my friend, how are you doing on this final day of 2022?
I'm a hardcore gamer.
Just like every other day.
I'd be worried for you, Josh.
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, hey, no COVID on Josh's side.
No,
feeling-
not about that.
Not worried about him. What? Oh, 20. What are you talking about? Like Y2K?
Y2K23.
I haven't heard anything about that this time, but you never know.
That story was boring and dumb.
George, as we said, man, George, I don't know. I think it's like George is getting prepared for stand-up, kind of. I think that should be there every week.
I think George should have some kind of bow tie, don't you?
Oh, that might be dangerous.
Bow lime. That's all I got. That's all I could think of. Bow tie and bow lime. I'm sorry. That's all I got, people. It's the end of the year. What do you want from me? You milked me dry the rest of the year. It's all I can come up with.
I'd be really afraid for him to put that on.
You think it's gonna come off? Or pull George's skin off?
Yeah, I don't know. It's it's no, it's not that
What,
sticky. Go ahead, put it on him, George. Put it on
What are
there.
those things called?
Okay, will you? Oh, that's my. Oh God, that's gonna be through the.
On the thing?
Put it on his neck.
Like a bow tie.
Don't. George trusts you, and you're gonna belittle him like that. There we go. Beautiful.
George Nelson Riley.
Ooh,
That
I
was-
like the lime part, Lone Riley.
That was my COVID alarm, guys. I mean, it looks perfectly clear to me.
Don't drip your nose juice all over.
No, I got to squeeze it back in now. You put it back in your nose after it's done. That
It
gives you
keeps you
extra
from getting
COVID,
Somebody,
immunity. There
Somebody
you go.
gave George a lime for Christmas.
Here's a bundle of limes,
Aw.
George.
Oh, that's what he says. That's what I think of your gift. That's what he said.
So, there
My
you
product
go.
says I'm super quiet. Am I still super quiet? Or
You're always quiet.
I mean, I don't feel
Problem
like
is I used that microphone last week. and
Oh,
we all know
maybe that's
what
it.
I do to.
I mean, you're not extremely quiet, but I,
Okay.
at a normal speaking level, am much louder than you are.
I'll make love to the microphone.
There you
Like
go.
my lips are touching the foam right
That's
now.
great.
Okay,
You look great
so
right
I'll have to
now.
make sure that my lips touch the foam.
The phone, yes. Anyway, COVID clear. That's great. Mom Brain's taking her test right now. How's it looking?
Clean as a whistle
Did you set a timer?
in my head.
Oh, okay. Very professional. All right. Anyway, we have some things to get
Mine
to
was negative.
before we get to the COVID awards, the GoNintendo COVID awards. First off, Mom Brain is here. She was not here this past episode.
I was with my family in Florida.
With trinkets. And now she has some Krazy Kernal gifts to open up. Also, in the heat and excitement of last week, I didn't realize there was a special note in the box as well. So I will read that note as
We
Mom
don't
Brain
read
goes
the
through her
cards.
present.
We just want the money.
Okay, which one should I do first?
Oh boy,
Whatever
that's
one you
not a
want.
note. That's a novella.
Krazy Kernal says, podcast crew, my wife and I wanted to send you all some fun stuff, in parentheses, junk, for the holidays. Late, not late. Well, it was on time and late. We wish you all nothing but happiness and fun goose for the year to come and beyond. On a personal note, I just wanted to thank you all for being a bright spot in my life and allowing me to be even just a small part of this wonderful thing you have created. It's wild to think we're approaching 5 years of doodles. Holy smokes. Nothing but love. Sheenan the Colonel with a Jason in the corner. Yes, we realized last week that all the mugs have hidden Jasons on them as well, just like the podcast pictures do. So he did say, as you suspected, it is just a Sharpie. So be careful, but just letting people know.
Listen,
Mom
This
Brain has
mug
opened one gift. It is her mug.
incredible. It is a fish in a percolator,
Yes, I see.
and then the steam coming out.
Wow.
a lady rat. It's me as a lady rat.
May the rats eat your eyes. in
There
the
you
new
go.
year.
I'll look at Mom Brain's mug. Beautiful. Not surprisingly, another excellent mug.
Lady rat. That is
Am
incredible.
I a lady?
I have this.
And do you have another gift?
yes. And then I'm gonna go put my coffee for the podcast in this mug.
Oh my god.
Oh, because you need me here for what?
Soundboard to continue on with the show, to play us out. Mom Brain is meticulously opening a wrapped package. Oh, like a rat. Now she's opening it like a rat.
I shall make a mess with this.
By the way, the Pac-Man ghost that is on the table comes from Nintendo. It was a Christmas gift. I don't know which one it is because I never know. Inky,
names?
Blinky, Clyde, and I don't remember the other one. Stinky, sure.
Wow.
Clyde is the only one I remember that's separate.
There is a post-it.
Wow.
Clyde is the only one I remember that's separate.
There is a post-it that said, "My wife made some
Blinky.
bookmarks. Thought you might be able to use them."
Oh.
You're correct. I love a handmade gift, you know? Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
these are the best. Because you don't they like hook on.
Oh, their book corner like
I've
cover.
never seen that until.
So you take all the
Oh.
pages and the
Just
cover up
here.
to that point and then slide it on.
This, and for the record, y'all, they could also be cat ears.
They could.
They could
By
be
the
cat
way,
ears. This is a rat situation here.
Yes, Inky, Pinky, Clyde, and Stinky Bishop. That is correct. That's from Red
Don't
Souza.
forget Zitz and Ray as well.
Zitz and Ray, that's right, and Pimple. Hello, Red Souza, and Hiley and Tom, and Anastasia Beaverhazen. That's a great gift.
One of them's Bimmy, right?
Grantimus, yep. Outlaws, Dre Gamer, Giant Reggie, Super Blast Sex, Nintendo. There he is, Salamaster Link. Mike Croddick, good to see you, my friend. Sorry, the chat's moving as I'm trying to. Hello, Freddie Fro, and Roth, and Nico Darunia, and whoever else I didn't see. Sorry, Gecko Kitsune. Sorry, it's jumping around. If you comment again, I'll get you. Thanks for joining us for the first ever Go Nintendo Awards. Don't be nervous, dude.
The ranting robots.
Ranting robots.
Say, happy pre-2023 Go Nintendo humans. You are the preferred Nintendo podcast to all robots, and that's 100% fact.
I'll take it. Thank you very much. It's an honor we take very seriously.
I have a feeling this
Hi,
new year of our Lord is going to be a good one.
The year of our Lord 2023. It's coming up. That's
not
right.
at all.
So yeah, we have a couple things to get to before the awards, but listen, we're not going to be one of those like podcasts or those shows where it's like, here's the thing you want to see the most. Wait until the end to find out. We're going to do a couple things and do that before we get into news. So basically, couple silly things, the awards, and then all downhill from there. First silly thing was Mom Brain. Oh, okay. Oh, Josh, you got big plans for New Year's tonight? I bet I can bet
the world's best singer.
Oh, of course. Is Josh going to be with Ryan Seacrest? Rocking New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest? I mean, Ryan.
That's none of your business.
Is the volume down on that iPad? Yeah, we both agree. Okay. I mean, Ryan Seacrest knows a thing or two about finding new musical talents.
I don't know.
I'm a hardcore gamer.
Mom Brain knows, but last week.
Volume's all the way up.
The speaker died, and you weren't here for him to blame.
Oh,
Ramit had to take the blame on his own.
He did. Fault. I mean, I plugged it in 2 seconds later. Yeah, it was my fault.
Dear diary.
Funny.
Yeah, it happens.
I just plugged it in. That's all I needed to do. Meanwhile, if somebody else didn't plug it in, in the world.
That sounded just like me. Josh, can you speak again? I want to hear your volume.
Whose birthday
is it? The year's birthday?
Baby New Year.
Baby New Year.
I'm the star of the show.
How did he do that?
We got a little bit of everything. Yeah, it does sound quiet. Why? Nothing has happened.
Maybe because there's a ghost in the way.
There is a ghost sound traveling through ghosts.
Terribly quiet.
Ectoplasm. No, nothing's changed from last week. I don't go in this room until it's podcast time. Hit me with the random sound effect.
The volume is all the way up.
Any sound effect.
Oh my god!
That's good.
Oh, I can probably change the volume on Josh. I won't do it right now because it'll take.
See,
forever,
that on recording was extra loud, so I guess you should bump it back down. Nothing like technical issues for the last show.
Oh my god!
Go one up. Give me the Wario this time.
Oh my god!
How many down did you go?
3.
Give me another up. You know, we started late.
Oh my god!
You're going down.
That sounds quiet.
That you're going lower.
You know, it doesn't. I mean.
Oh my god!
There we go.
Happy New Year!
Now we figured it out. Mom Brain was lowering the volume instead of turning it
up.
I'm
a hardcore gamer.
That sounds right. Now we're there.
Dude, I don't know if you are muted or you think you're muted, but you're not.
It does sound like you're eating something.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Tums Smoothies.
This just in.
No, it's not time.
My COVID test came back.
Oh.
Negative.
What a way to end the year. Another negative COVID test. COVID-free since the beginning.
Give me yours and I'll toss it.
Oh, I thought we were going to frame them and hang them up.
It's free.
So one of the other things I want to talk about before we get into the Game Awards, there's only one thing. You can leave. Go ahead if you want. Fill up your coffee mug. This week on the Patreon, you can join the Patreon for $1. Billy would tell us about it, but he's not here.
For $1.
Hey-o. I talked about anime on Patreon this week because I asked you.
This goes directly into that, right? You don't need this aimed at that.
I don't need that. No, it was just sitting there. I asked the lovely Patreon subscribers, or the patrons as they're called, The patron saints of
Patreons.
GoNintendo.
Patreons?
Patrons.
Patreons.
What their favorite anime of 2022 was. And
They're still making anime? I'm
what?
out of the loop.
Or is that
I'm
a
watching
joke
old
or
stuff.
serious?
I watch old stuff sometimes, but I like
Anime
there's
is
new
more
stuff?
popular than ever, which is something I talked
I
about.
just watched
in my
Spirited Away this year.
That is an anime. What would you give it? Scale 1 to 10.
It was great. I gave it a
Excellent.
great.
What would you give it? A scale 1 to 10. It was great.
I don't like doing that.
I know you don't. I know. But you enjoyed it and you thought it was great.
I believe so. Yeah.
Now you don't even
No, I
know
did,
if you're
and I
sure of what you
finally
said 2
understood-
seconds ago.
I finally understood like other references and things that, because people like things that are popular and then they reference them. And then if you don't know, you're on the outside, but now I'm on the inside.
Well, I asked the Patreon people what their favorite anime of the year was, and
Oh my
I
God, it's
have
like that-
to.
Is it Stained, that song?
What?
I'm on the outside.
I know the
looking
song.
in.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's Stained
That's
or
probably
not.
what they're talking about.
They're
Yeah,
singing
popular
about
anime, yeah.
And Roth, you sent the perfect gift. So I haven't gone in to look at the responses yet because I got to be completely honest. A, I was busy with other stuff this week. B, I was saving it because I was very excited and I wanted to make a list on Google Docs to make sure I didn't forget the ones that you guys recommended. Because I obviously know a lot, but I'm sure you guys are watching some things I've never heard of. So, but I was like, I've said this a million times. I have a lot of hobbies I really enjoy, and some of them I don't get to spend as much time with as I'd like to, and things ebb and flow. So wrestling I always watch because it's on every week and I can watch while I'm working. And also like, Monday Night Raw is just a part of my schedule. I sit down and I watch that. But the other stuff, yeah, I can watch while I'm working and it's easy to do on a second monitor. But when it comes to because a lot of the story is told through the commentary and stuff like that. But when it comes to anime or any TV show or a movie for that matter, I'm not going to put it on a second monitor and watch it because then I'm not fully paying attention. I want to fully pay attention. But this week, I used my own Patreon post as a prompt to get back into anime. And this week I've watched 2 things. I have
Both anime.
started the latest, both anime. Yes, I've started the latest arc in Demon Slayer. So I watched Demon Slayer. I watched the whole first season and I loved it. And I saw why people were so excited about it. I watched the Demon Slayer movie previously, which I also loved. That was one of my favorite movies that I watched last year. I really, really liked that movie. I thought it was everything you could want from an anime movie. Like I got everything I wanted from a movie tied to to other source material. So gave me action, the characters the way that I wanted. Obviously the animation budget was bumped up, so that's nice to see, but a great story that made me tear up and I was engaged. Loved it. And then
Was it on the 2s or the 3s or the 1s?
Oh, when you're talking about an anime movie, that's almost always on the 1s. They're not skimping on the budget there. They're giving you 1s animation.
That's right.
That's right. That's
I know what that
right.
means.
So, also the debut episode of the arc I'm watching was also animated mostly on the 1s because it was an extra long episode. So they gave the new season a real boost in the beginning. But anyway, so I started watching the new arc. I'm sure someone in the chat could tell me what the what the arc is named. I don't remember. Entertainment District, something like that. And I'm 3 episodes in and I'm loving it. I just love this show's idea is so great.
What show?
Demon Slayer. So the idea is,
Slaying
spoiler
demons?
alert, the very first episode, the titular
Demon is
character, Tanjiro, his whole family, or pretty much his whole immediate family, is killed by a demon. He doesn't know who the
Slaved by
demon
a
is.
demon.
He goes out in the
Demoned?
woods. He goes out in the woods to get firewood for his family that's living in this, shack in the middle of the winter. And when he comes back, he finds gruesomely that his family has been slain. But then he comes to learn that his sister is not dead, but his sister has
It's a
been
demon.
bitten and been turned into a demon,
Oh.
and he refuses to kill his sister. So he's like, I'm gonna keep her alive, and I'm gonna find a way to cure her somehow. So
It can't happen. How many zombie stories have we heard?
well,
where you're
he
like,
gives her
"You're-
like
you're disillusioned.
Yeah. he gives her like a bite block that she's permanently wearing, so she can't bite. And he carries her around in a wooden box on his back. He literally carries her because demons can't be in the sun.
Brothers and sisters.
They can
It's a
am I
funny
right?
relationship.
They can only be out in the nighttime if the sun touches their skin. So demons have to go away when the sun is out. So humans are safe during the day, but not at night. But anyway, it's about him trying to find a cure for his sister and obviously becoming a demon slayer along the way.
I don't think he's watched any of the more recent stuff, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
Wait,
George
Tom.
used to like anime.
George, tell me about it.
George, what was your favorite anime? Elf and Lime.
Oh, Elf and Lime. Yes, I've watched that one.
I also like Samurai Lime shampoo
It's been a while since I watched that one.
and Fruits Baskets.
Oh, yes, Mom Brain's a big fan of Fruits Basket. Highly Tom, perfect gift, perfect. That stuff smells great, Mom Brain.
It was a Christmas gift from your sister.
So anyway, that's what Demon Slayer's about. And I'm watching the Entertainment District arc, and like I said, I'm 3 episodes in. Very intrigued in the storyline. Very excited to see where it goes. And I'm like, it's one of those things. I absolutely adored it while I was watching it, and then just work and other things got in the way. And I'm like, I got to get back to that. So I got back to it, and I'm just as much in love with it as I was.
Explain this.
Yes.
Entertainment District, does it take place in Hollywood?
No, this also doesn't take place in this era. It's many, many years ago. So it's like this is probably wrong. I probably have the wrong period, but I'm gonna say Edo period Japan, something like that. So that style, that era. So Entertainment District is lots of fancy lanterns and lots of people around, but also the entertainment is there's ladies it's not like that. They're in like kabuki dress and stuff like that, but there are houses you go to where whims are catered to, let's say that, but not shown in any detail.
Like Nintendo's Love Hotel.
Exactly, you're exactly right, dude. Yes.
So are we safe to say? Is it safe to say that this show has turned you around on period pieces?
I'm a big period piece fan. There are certain periods I don't mind. This would be one of them. But I guess my real issue. This is interesting that you bring this up. To my real issue is not issue. My real distaste comes from Victorian era. I just don't care for Victorian era stuff. But other periods I'm okay with.
British or American periods, but you appreciate Japanese periods.
It's not that. It's
like you watched that Mortal Kombat, and you're like, when they were like showing like the history or whatever, you're like, nah, and then they got into like modern day, and you're like, all right.
It's just Victorian era stuff. Like I don't know, it irks me.
Well, that's where your childhood was spent.
That's got to be it. That's definitely got to be it.
Prejudice and
not lying. Yeah, that's probably it.
And
my parents made me grow up that style.
Yeah.
That's how we lived. That's the clothing I wore to school. But anyway,
Man, can you imagine if your parents brought you to Tokyo as a kid? You'd hate all things Japan.
That's true. Like if I repeatedly went to, I don't know, colonial Japan back in the day, I would also hate it. But anyway, love Demon Slayer. A lot more episodes ago.
Put on your bonnet before heading out to school.
That's right. Anyway, so I watched that, and then I also started because I know there's been tons of buzz about it, and it's been on my list for a long time. And I do have a point to make about this. Not for a long time. It's been on my list this past year. I know Chainsaw Man is the hot anime. You always talk about not liking names for everything. Chainsaw Man, albeit a name that is far from the weirdest sounding anime name, it is a name that I don't like at all. But
nice.
it wouldn't stop me from watching the show. It's just I just don't like that name. But anyway, I don't
like it either. And this is the first I've heard of it. I'm
watching Chainsaw Man, and boy, oh boy, can I see why so many people are into this show. It is a hell of a ride. And let me just put this out here now. I am watching the dub, so I am not caught up. I know there's only one season so far, but the dub is not finished airing yet. What is it? Crunchyroll is doing episodes weekly. We should be up to episode 11 this coming week, but it appears they took off for the holidays, which is fine. But that means I'm only up to episode 9 because the other episode isn't out yet. So, when I first started watching the show, I was into it. I liked the idea. But when you get to like, I don't know, episode 6 or 7, things, man, things happen. I don't even want to spoil things by saying anything more specific than that, but those episodes, I was jaw dropped, like shocked watching the show. I could not believe this. What happened, and I'm like,
Like
this is the
inappropriate.
no,
for,
no, no.
like-
This is the 7th episode or the 6th episode of the show, and this kind of stuff has happened. I was like, holy moly! Like I
stuff
was
like
floored.
like what was that other
Storyline, character wise,
Okay, not content wise.
not content wise. No,
Whereas what was that? Invincible was like the content was
yes,
just like
yes. Yeah. Like Invincible's end of Invincible's first episode, you're like, oh my god, yeah, like that's what I got from this. Although this show from the beginning is very violent. Like this is not a anime for children by any means. There's also adult subject matter discussed, and there's the main
Like-
character. Like what? Go ahead.
divorce and stuff.
No divorce yet. No. The main character, Drake Gamer says it's so good. I agree.
Bills.
Bills talk a
Doing
lot
their
about bills.
taxes, like that sort of
To tell
adult
you the
stuff?
truth, money is a big topic of discussion.
Well,
because,
I mean, if he's got a chainsaw for a head, he needs to pay for the gas.
so the main character,
Not cheap.
is in dire straits. His father, this is in the first episode. His father, I don't remember his father was killed or died. I think
was he an axe?
I think he was.
His father was a saw.
I think he died. His father was.
Oh, and mother,
Anyway,
mummy was a chain.
His father was in debt to the Yakuza. And unfortunately, that debt now gets passed on to the son. And they're like, you got to pay this off or we're going to kill you. So this kid, 16-year-old kid, has been living like in squalor for all of his life. And he's like, also, there is demon slaying in this show too. But he has like sold parts of his body to make money to not be killed by the Yakuza. So like he sold one of his eyes and a nut, and like he's like, so life is rough for
A
him.
nut?
A ball,
A testicle.
testicle.
Is that the medical term?
Yes, a nard. But anyway,
A single nard.
he he ends up in a situation where he's going to be attacked by, it's not demons, they're devils. They're called devils. He's going to be attacked by a devil, but he sees that the devil is
Good
hurt,
looking.
and he's like, you know what? My life sucks. I don't care anymore. He's like, I know devils can regenerate health if they drink blood. He's like, if you kill me, you kill me. I don't care. My life is horrible. Go ahead and drink my blood. So he offers up his arm to this devil to let him bite. It's like a little like dog chainsaw thing. It's a weird little devil. Devils are attached to whatever people are afraid of. So like there's a gun devil and
So
there's
he's
a
afraid of chainsaw dogs?
whatever people are afraid of that builds the devil's like power.
Spider devil. Ew.
Spider devil, exactly. Stuff like that.
So this
zombie
this
devil.
cute little thing is actually
Being a lone
a
devil.
bloodthirsty devil.
Oh yeah, there he is right there. So the thing bites this guy, and it does not. So the little devil gets healthy, but then the devil decides, I'm not going to kill this guy because he saved my life, basically. So he keeps him as a pet. And then
Nice
I don't want to
devil.
say what happens, but
wait,
things
wait.
happen.
The devil keeps the human as a pet.
No, the human keeps the devil. Well, the devil is basically like, hey, you saved my life, and hangs out with him. The devil doesn't talk, but it's a dog, and it's basically a dog, and it hangs out with them. Then again, all this happens in the first episode. Things happen. That's all I'm going to say. And the main character gets the abilities of this devil. They work together in a way. I won't say how, but anyway. So this guy ends up going around to slay devils for money to pay off the Yakuza. And the show's awesome. The show is awesome. It's so different from what I was expecting, especially once you get to the 6th or 7th episode. I was like, man, we're laying out some real heavy storyline stuff here that I didn't think would happen at all, let alone in the first season. So I'm on board, man. It's a great show. Really awesome. And once again, I go through the same cycle every time. I love anime. I watch a lot of anime, and then things get in the way and I don't watch as much. And I'm like, I got to get back to anime. I hear about all this great anime. Then I start watching more. I'm like, man, great stuff. So there's my 2 recommendations. the most basic bitch recommendations you can give of anime, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. But there you go. I gotta watch what's it called? Devilman Crybaby. I think that's the name. I still haven't watched One Punch Man. I want to check that
The
out.
only anime I watched this year was Your Name.
Your Name, an excellent anime. Yeah,
One
it does
episode.
go very fast, my critic. Yeah, and that's the other great thing. I know you're not a big anime fan, but anime is great in the sense that episodes are very quick. They're like 22 minutes, and that's it. If that, like 21 minutes if you cut out the intro.
I gave too much of my life to Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm not going back to any.
What is it?
animes
Like you gave
recommend.
I think you gave less than you gave Avengers Endgame. Like I think Avengers Endgame in total might be roughly the same time as Neon Genesis Evangelion. Minus the movie, anyway. If you throw in the movie, then yes. Yeah, Genesis Evangelion is 26 episodes for 20 minutes.
I guess you can look at it time-wise. My brain processes the
Yes.
time differently.
That's a different story, yeah. Well, as far as brain processing and as far as like required thinking, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man are not like, as far as up to this point, they're not deep philosophical experiences. They're just
so you're
very enjoyable
recommending
shows.
The dumb shows to your dumb
No, I
friend.
mean, like,
get
you
it.
know, I loved Game of Thrones until the last season pretty much, and you loved Game of Thrones. I would not say that's a deep show by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a very enjoyable one. So that's where I would put these two anime. That there's no heavy level thinking going on here. It's just very interesting characters and stories.
But do you? I mean, this is going back, but Gogol 13.
The Professional, yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah, some good
Akira,
stuff there.
Yeah,
Ghost in the Shell. Like
he doesn't like Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, you never did.
He doesn't like it. He saw it, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, that one doesn't speak to me, but yeah, Akira and Gogo 13 and Ninja Scroll, and then like Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, and
honestly, Chainsaw. I don't know if you'd like Demon Slayer. I think you'd find some of the characters too annoying. But Chainsaw Man, I think you'd dig. Like it's very action oriented. The story, the characters are very interesting and intriguing. There's lots of fun stuff going on. And there's, like I said, there's no like, you know, existential crisis or anything. At least not so far. So there's my anime recommendations so far. Like I said, end of the year anime recommendations. The
Here's
two
the other
anime
thing.
everybody knows about.
As long as like something isn't 20 some episodes where the first 15 are kind of rinse and repeat until there's like a big twist or shift, and then it just becomes like melt your mind. That's where I had a bit of a problem with Neon Genesis Evangelion, where it was just like, I'm not really invested in this episode because I feel like it's the same episode as the last 10.
I felt that way.
I'm
while I
using
was
my
watching.
new approach.
And then like not being tuned in and being like really passive with it. Once there was a shift, I was like, I don't know what's going on because I didn't pay attention because it was the same thing, which apparently it wasn't because things happen, but like it wasn't enough. You know, get somebody re-edit it down to 3 episodes and we'll get everything out of it.
I am using my new approach as I've discussed with you and do. While I respectfully disagree with that assessment, I have heard that assessment from others. And I'll leave it at that. But yes, if you're looking for something very much not in that style, these two shows are very much not like that. Although, you know, in Demon Slayer,
help you if there's a kaiju anywhere in any of these.
no kaiju that I can think of in Demon Slayer. There's like a big no kaiju. I'm gonna say no, definitively no. There's like a big monster in one of them, but he's not like cities. You know, he's like 3 times the size of a human. He's not like huge.
Did you ever try Death Note?
Oh yeah, I liked Death Note.
Okay,
Yeah,
Death Note. I mean, that story was incredible to me.
Death Note's great. Yes.
Well, I like Death Note up until the first.
Episode?
Well,
the first thing happens, and then they kind of tacked it on.
That's not a crazy opinion. Like that's a very trumpeted opinion. I think the show is great to the end, but I think its best part is that same part you say as well. I think it should have ended there, but unfortunately, what happened? The show got incredibly popular, so they pushed it a little bit more. Right decision, wrong decision. You know, I don't think the show got bad after there, but I certainly think up to that specific point, which we won't spoil, it was an unbelievable show. So, but yes, Chainsaw Man. Like I said, we're only in the first season of that, and so what is it? I think there's 12 episodes altogether in the first season. So, very easy to get through. Excellent. Very surprised with how that show does certain things and where it goes. Certainly, because where I'm at now, I'm feeling very different from where I was in the first 5 episodes. I still greatly enjoyed it. I just didn't expect it to become as enticing as it did here.
Ooh, enticing.
It's fun. All right, but anyway, that's that. All right, you guys have been waiting. It's time. It's Vader time. I got something special.
Finally.
As we have talked about.
Any news today?
We're gonna do news, yeah. Like I said, after this, it's all downhill. We have the first ever. This is a 30-minute loop of music, so it should be good. The first ever GoNintendo Awards. I was looking for applause, Mom Brain. Thank you, dude. Thank you. It gives me the light applause.
They were backup, you know?
There we go. Thank you. Prestigious. As I have said before, I got
Outstanding.
I have labored over this. Last night alone, I spent over 5 hours writing
Now you are a real
writing
hero.
the final feature for these awards. The written feature, which goes into greater detail on each award and its winner, will go live as soon as this segment is done. I will publish it from my phone. So you are hearing the award winners here first. Again, these awards were not chosen solely, the winners were chosen by me, but based on input from the lovely GoNintendo staff, as well as other factors. So this is not a list of my favorites. Do some of my favorites win categories? Certainly. Do some of my favorites lose other categories? They certainly do. So
You're deciding them right now?
no, it's all done.
You've already decided is what I meant.
I have
I
already
was
decided.
hoping we could
yes.
just put them on the wheel and let the wheel decide.
Well, we all know if we use the wheel,
But
when
hey.
it comes up with an answer, we don't go with it.
And also, reminder, this was like less than 4 weeks of your work,
Thank you.
as well as other people involved.
Thank you.
I'm just walking into this, and I'm going to take it over.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
here's
going
the
to walk
thing.
in. I'm not taking it over. I'm just going to assume all the responsibility.
If you guys have games that, as in you guys at the show, if you guys have games that you played that came out in 2022 that you'd like to just give a nod to later on the show, you're more than welcome to.
I don't know what came out this year.
You could take some time to look if you want.
I'm pretty sure Clubhouse Games was 2 years old or something.
You
So
could look it up.
my
I know
favorites,
it didn't
my
come up-
favorites are certainly not on
It
the
didn't
list.
come up in my rundown of every game that came out in 2022, so I believe
But-
you're right.
Maybe we can start off the year a little differently with this in mind. And
That's
then,
a great
you
idea.
know,
Do something to say?
No, I'm
Oh, I heard a-
excited to
I heard a
find out
lips-
Who you're, who's the winners here?
I heard a lip smack. I thought you had something to say. I apologize. So anyway, yes, I have the list again.
Something is looming.
Written feature will be published right afterwards, and yes, this does include the Player's Choice Award, which was chosen by you guys. The majority game
Fantastic.
has taken home the Player's Choice. So if you don't like it, it's your fault, not mine. Thank you. I don't remember how many votes we had, but across all platforms, we had over 20,000 interactions
Hell
with
yeah.
the award. So thank you, everybody who did that. And I posted it randomly this week, the slowest week of the year. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Was it fun to go through and tabulate what the winners were? No.
Shut up. I
But
don't care.
I got it done.
wait,
So-
you counted them by hand?
Not by hand. I used some other stuff to do it, but I had to find the right stuff to do it
You
first.
didn't. Oh, how? What did you do?
There's things you can do to crawl through responses. So I had keywords that I looked for. But anyway, the categories are, we went through the nominees last week. I could read you the nominees again if you want, but the categories are in order of which they will be given their award.
That's a strange category.
Best multiplayer. Don't do this. Best hidden gem. Best narrative. Most impressive port. Best soundtrack. Best action adventure. Best RPG. Player's choice. And the game of the year. There you go. Wow. I don't know what to do rather than just read a list of them. I'm sure I'll talk a little bit about each one, but we are starting with best multiplayer. Should I do the nominees?
There should be like a teleprompter that Nikki Hill and I badly read off of.
Oh, thank you I love the gifts in chat. Thank you, chat. Oh, and Jay Sherman showed up. That's great. You know what? I will do the nominees because
stinks.
According to other award shows, you have nominees read, and then the award winner gets up to accept the award. I will be accepting the award. What'd you say?
We only have a few more hours before next year, so can we hurry it up?
Oh boy. Yes, I have my list highlighted. I just have to get to it.
Can I just guess? Favorite port is Delfino or whatever.
Oh, I like what you're doing.
Dolphin Shoals. Is it Dolphin Shoals?
Dolphin Shoals is in Mario Kart. All right, so your nominees for best multiplayer are TMNT Shredder's Revenge, Splatoon 3, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and It Takes Two. And the very first GoNintendo Award for best multiplayer goes to Splatoon 3. There we go. Splatoon 3 is the winner. To be honest, I don't think that one's going to be much of a surprise to anybody. As I wrote in my feature, it's the most fully fleshed out multiplayer experience on the Switch in 2022. There are certainly plenty of games that offer multiplayer online and local, but as far as the compendium of things that you get in Splatoon 3, I don't think you could ask for any better. You got local multiplayer for Salmon Run or online. You got plenty of online like Turf War and Splatfests and Clam Blitz and all the other stuff. And it's everything you wanted or loved from Splatoon 2 refined to a new degree in Splatoon 3. That is our winner for best multiplayer. Thoughts? Anybody thoughts? Let me go to Discord. If you have thoughts, I can't jump back and forth. Who's in the Discord here? You guys?
Joe Shabbat said congrats.
If anybody has
Giant Reggie said makes sense.
Complaints or anything, please air them in the Discord, and Mom Brain and or Nikki Hill will read them.
Fleshy squids.
My only complaint is that RMC doesn't call up the troops to play Splatoon 3 multiplayer anymore.
You know, dude, we already had this talk.
I'll have it every week until you invite me, man.
I only invite for Splatoon when we have the people who can play Splatoon. And last time I reached out to somebody, they weren't around. They were traveling to another state. So I will try again this week, but we are. That's right. Thank you. That sums it up.
Congratulations to Splatoon for winning multiplayer of the year.
Yes. Congratulations.
Ice Dilbert 6 says chirping in here to say hi to all.
Oh, hello. Thank you. Next category.
Happy New Year.
Best Hidden Gem. Best Hidden Gem was a...
there are so many games with hidden things. This is such a tough category.
Best Hidden Gem, plenty of games nominated in this category. We had Webbed, Transaruby, Far Changing Tides, Young Souls, Nobody Saves the World, Ghana Protectors, Cart of Darkness, Card Shark, Alec-Head, Clonoa Fantasy Reverie Series, Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, Curse to Golf, Right, Beacon Pines, Dorf Romantique, A Little to the Left, Lunistis, The Two Milk Games, Wavetail, Roguebook, and AI, The Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative. Mom Brain, you look like you were scanning for something there.
Just looking around.
Those are your nominees for Hidden Gem.
You wouldn't think there'd be that many hidden gems, you know? Most of them would still be hidden.
There probably are some others that are even more hidden, it's true, but this is what we've come up with. And we have our winner. The winner of GoNintendo's Hidden Gem Award for 2022. Give me Alec-Head until I'm elected. There's your winner. Your Hidden Gem winner. Nikki Hill, you have played that one.
I did.
Do you have thoughts on that game winning Hidden Gem?
I don't want to give any thoughts. I think he did a great job.
I want thoughts. Oh,
well, my only thing is I didn't really think it was necessarily hidden because it was it was mentioned on an Indie World Showcase, I think, and it
Mhm.
was kind of, showcase. Hidden might be not in a showcase, but it's a good game. I liked it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would have initially. So it was a surprise gem for me.
I'm just going down the list to double check this. Almost all of these games were in an indie direct, but
None of them hidden.
it's an indie direct, so they don't get nearly as much attention as a regular direct does. So. Also, to be, as I discuss in my written article, which again goes live right after this.
Do I have to be?
To be a hidden
Nice.
gem, you can't just be hidden. You have to be a gem. So it has to be a good game. It can't just be a hidden game. So what was I thinking there? Like I considered putting Tunic in here, but Tunic is too out in the open for it to be a hidden gem. So more so than any of these, without a doubt. Yeah, probably the best one here is Klonoa as far as hidden goes. That's pushing it a little bit, but not a lot of people care about or
it was just
know
released on
of
the Switch
Klonoa.
this year.
It's a remake that came out this year, yeah, of the first and the second game. But all the others here are certainly more hidden than your average game. Obviously, there's levels of hidden here, like something like Nobody Saves the World is more well known than the Milk games, but they are both hidden.
Grantimus says you forgot about Anime Titty Shoot 'em Up 4.
Some games didn't make the cut. Let's say I was testing them out to see if they should be included, and I got distracted. Let's put it that way. They were a hidden gem. There you go. They were a hidden gem, and I loved them. But then after I spent enough time with them, it cleared my mind, let's say. I just didn't feel the same way about them. There's your winner, Alekhead, the hidden gem of the year. But again, it's an honor just to be nominated.
Alekhead was that a single person?
I don't know for sure. I believe so, yes. But all the games on this list, I recommend you check them out because they are all hidden gems in their own right. Just one is more hidden and a gem than the others. Moving on.
Could George read some nominees, do you think?
George, you want to do, what do we got next? George, we have Best Narrative. You want to do Best Narrative, George?
Sure.
All right, George.
Just hanging out here, juggling ones anyway.
Best. It's tough. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm sorry. George, Best Narrative, the nominees, please. Best Narrative on the Switch, Year of Our Lord 2022. Go Nintendo.
That's my thing, George. What are you doing over there?
Backbone, Hindsight, Omori, Citizen Sleeper, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, Beacon Pines, One Shot World Machine Edition, Signalis, It Takes Two, in parentheses, Limes, Inscription, Chained Echoes, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and finally Triangle Strategy. Thank you, George. That was beautiful. Was it a strain for you to get that out, George? Nope. Just my voice. All right, George. Well, go ahead. Tell us the winner. Thank you very much. I'm honored. This is not a sour moment. This is a sweet victory. Best Narrative 2022. Switch. Go Nintendo goes to Inscription. Thank you, George. That was fantastic. Inscription is your winner. As I said, I wanted to make sure I squeezed in time with Inscription before the awards just so I could get some input and discuss it a bit and weigh it amongst other games. I have not finished it yet. I will talk more about it today. But for Best Narrative, as you heard, there's top tier nominees all throughout here. But the reason why it goes to Inscription above others is because all of these games have phenomenal stories and great writing and characters. But a smaller selection of them use the medium of video games to tell stories that would not be possible without video game technology. The literal medium of video games is used to tell a story you could not otherwise experience. So that's a few of the games in here. But above all of them, Inscription is the one that gets the nod. It is certainly a game that tells a traditional story, a interesting story, an intriguing story, a mysterious story, and a story that is told through the medium and mechanics of video games. And it takes twists, turns, and uses gameplay mechanics to tell a tale that is unlike anything I've ever played, to tell you the truth. And this did not influence my overall pick here, but I will say Nintendo thinks it's one of the best games she has ever played. She said that to me on her own.
Nintendo,
yes.
Yeah, I heard Nintendo.
I
Like,
thought I heard Nintendo. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second.
My sister Nintendo says it is one of the best games she has ever played. She was obsessed with it. She actually played on Christmas Day as well. She spent some time with it because she couldn't
Great.
pull herself away from it. So
Giant Reggie says anime titty shoot 'em up 4 would have won if the
shafted.
category was breast narrative.
Oh,
mm.
the game's getting shafted. It's true. We didn't nominate it at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. You may not be aware, but we got a special musical guest to perform at today's award show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the one, the only Miss Mariah Carey.
Oh. That's how she feels about our awards. Was that her at the end being
The tweet was
the
great.
Tweagle?
Yeah, the Tweagle enjoyed, a duet with her.
Wow. I don't know which one should be more honored.
Well, that was musical performance number 1.
Thanks for number one. They
Thank
do
you,
cram
everyone.
in
Thank you,
musical acts
everyone.
into award
Yeah,
show. It's
yeah.
true. Next up, we have most impressive port. Most impressive port. Your nominees are
Wow, I am impressed.
Astroneer, Ghost Runner, Zombie Army 4, Bug Snacks, Seafood, No Man's Sky, Tunic, Factorio, Ark Ultimate Survivor Edition. Very clear. That came out this year. The complete overhaul and revamp of Ark. It Takes Two, Oddworld Soulstorm, Persona 5 Royal, Nier Automata, The End of Yorha Edition, and 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. The winner of Most Impressive Port goes to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, everybody. There's your winner.
Outstanding.
All these games on this list are impressively done on the Switch, but I think this is one of the most clear-cut categories because No Man's Sky was trumpeted as something that was barely possible on the PS4 at the time. Yet somehow Hello Games has managed to bring the game over to Switch. We go over that
Sure,
in
why
more
not?
detail in the article. This was also a very hotly contested category, but
Barefoot contestant.
barefoot contested.
Mm.
We discussed with Ina Garden and Jeffrey, and they told us that this was the way to go. So that's how we did it.
Tasty.
So No Man's Sky, yeah, just the amount of technical achievement there is, I think, sheerly more impressive than the other games here. Although there are some contenders, but overall, I think the nod has to go to No Man's Sky. So all these ports are excellent. All these ports were handled with care and well worth your time. Now, remember, quality of the game does not factor into impressive port. There are certainly quality games here, but we're just talking about technically impressive ports. So there you go. It goes to No Man's Sky. Congratulations, Hello Games. I will be tweeting out all the companies on their wins today. Not that they care, but they will be tagged on Twitter. And they can, so when they put together their list and they're like, winner of 17 awards, they can lump that in. So that's how it works. That's the industry. Moving on. We have Best Soundtrack. Category very near and dear to my heart. Best Soundtrack. Your nominees for Best
Near
Soundtrack.
and ear to your heart.
Oh, that's very good.
Ooh.
Nominees are Neon White, Tunic, Nier Automata, Persona 5 Royal, Splatoon 3, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, Alec Head, Wavetail, River City Girls 2, Triangle Strategy, and Live Alive.
I don't know. There were a lot in there that I would have, like, as you said them, I was like, oh, this is his favorite. And then I was like, wait, no, this one's his favorite.
Well,
Wait,
this
no,
is-
he loved this one.
Okay,
It's not just
so
him.
Well, right.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking about,
if
like,
you had to
'cause
pick one for me, go ahead. What would you say?
River City Girls.
River City Girls 2, she says. Nikki Hill? Or Do?
I don't remember the list.
Excellent.
I would say you're going to pick Wavetail.
Wavetail would be my pick, yes. The GoNintendo Award for Best Soundtrack goes to
Oh,
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I want to make this clear. I have listened to all of these soundtracks in their entirety. I love Wavetail. I do personally believe that to be the best soundtrack, but just barely over Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And it depends on if you're looking at technical, because I'm factoring technical aspect into it as well for my personal taste. But just overall best soundtrack, I don't think you could go against Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's a monumental achievement in game music. Like the entire Xenoblade franchise has some of the best music you will find in video games. And it should be no surprise because the lead composer is the same one. What's her name? Yatsunori. Yatsunori. Let's say that. I don't remember the full name. I'm sure somebody in Discord could say. But they start their very first game on where they did composing duties was Chrono Trigger. You're starting off with one of the best soundtracks ever. They are the lead. Mitsuda. That's
from
it.
Z and
Yatsunori Mitsuda. Yeah, their work on this is phenomenal, and the amount of tracks that goes into this game is I can't even begin to understand how it was accomplished. We're talking about, like, I'm gonna say rough estimate, over 200 songs in the game, and we're talking about day and night themes that are different from each other. It's incredible. Now, just the sheer amount of songs doesn't matter, but the thing here is to have that many songs, and so many of them are amazing, like grand sweeping tunes and songs that get you pumped up, and it's really hard to argue against Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for top soundtrack of the year.
Wasn't there a news story about a composer? I don't know if it was Koji Kondo, where like somebody made like hundreds of songs and they only chose like a portion of those, right?
It was a composer for Mario Party.
Right.
But I don't remember who it was.
But they composed like an outrageous number of songs.
And then they were given more direction, and all those songs were tossed away. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think if there's going to be one category where there's as little pushback as possible from people, it will be this one.
So that's what I was going to say about Wavetail is, yes, it's your favorite soundtrack.
Yes.
Of recent history. I don't know of all time, but you were talking about how there were audio issues on the Switch.
Well, that's not factored into.
But
soundtrack.
it should be if this is the Switch releases.
No,
because if you were only playing it on the Switch,
we're talking about compositions. We're not talking about how they're delivered. I'm talking about the actual compositions.
You don't get a good feel of what it's actually supposed to sound like if it's getting chopped up. I don't know.
Well,
you do know because you've heard it in a different.
Well, again, I listened to all the soundtracks for these games, and I haven't played all of these games.
Okay.
Are you able to disassociate your experience of playing the game while having the sound hit you? Because I know Wavetail hit you in a very special way on all fronts. So I know you're taking this very seriously, and you just said it's based on the composition only. But for me, I would find difficulty kind of separating my experience with the game and how that music made me feel in the game versus just listening to it on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing. A musical, this is just from a musical standpoint. This is not how it personally makes me feel. Although, it's opinion based because it's all how good is the music. But, Wavetail, I would hear the songs and I could recognize, even if it was my first time playing Wavetail on the Switch, I could recognize that there's something amazing to the soundtrack, but also there's something wrong. And I would make a point to go listen to it outside of it because you're hearing fading issues that, are a mechanical problem. Like I could hear the soundtrack and know that's not how things are supposed to be played. So I would be like, I want to hear what these are meant to sound like. So, but yes, I haven't done the interview with that team yet. But our interview with the voice actor is coming this week. Funnily enough, Nikki Hill, you were like, doesn't she have to get approval to do the interview? And I was like, no, because it never happens and the game is out. She double checked this time because she's like, I just want to make extra sure, which is the first time this has happened. So that's why we didn't post the interview, because she wanted to double check. And everything was approved. So it's coming. But there's
And
your winner.
now,
Xenoblade.
ladies and gentlemen, the GoNintendo podcast First Annual Game Awards proudly presents
Not annual. We don't know about that.
I am the world's best singer.
Josh Grobot on center stage.
It's no one's birthday. Thank you.
My
Yes.
name's Josh Robot,
Oh,
and
boy.
I'm here to say I'm the best on this podcast, far and away. I'm so great. And you guys suck. If you don't like that, I don't give a darn.
Yay! Woo! We're honored, Josh. We're honored. Wow. Mariah Carey, the opening act for Josh. It's just one-
I'm the star of the
just-
show.
that's right. Undeniable. Our next category, Best Action Adventure. Best Action Adventure. Your nominees, as soon as I find them, are Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, Neon White, Sifu, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, Cuphead The Delicious Last Course, Azure Striker Gunvolt 3, Cult of the Lamb, Tinykin, Return to Monkey Island, One Shot World Machine Edition, Shovel Knight Dig, Tunic, Nier Automata, Bayonetta 3, Lunistis, Wavetail, and River City Girls 2. I don't know what that noise was.
You got wash going? No.
Sound like maybe one of them suction cup things fell in the
Oh,
bathtub.
maybe. I'll check when we're done.
Your winner of Action Adventure GoNintendo 2022 is Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3, everybody. I did not. When I didn't play everything in a category, my opinion, it's like 1/10 of whatever was factored in. Among staff, this was very hotly debated, but Bayonetta 3 did end up the winner as far as how I calculated things. I have not played Bayonetta 3. Our Bayonetta 3 review is coming, I'm going to imagine, this coming week. But yes, it was...
Not by you.
Not by me, no.
Mime mamamoo.
Bayonetta 3, I'm sure it's of no surprise since this game also took home Best Action Game at the Game Awards this year. Obviously, it's expected to be nominated in action adventure across pretty much
Interesting
any site or outlet worth its salt.
that I think it's the only game nominated that you can replace a cigar with a cannoli or a chocolate eclair.
That's true. Not possible in any other game.
Strongly influenced.
Platinum Games is well known for their efforts in the action adventure genre. They are, some would say, the kings of the genre, and they somehow managed to outdo themselves with either sequels to established franchises or brand new installments in the genre in general. And Bayonetta 3 has once again shown itself to be the Bayonetta franchise to be a top tier action adventure experience. I want to make this very clear. I know some people take issue with the story, how some of the story goes in Bayonetta 3, but we are not focusing on that for action adventure. It's just
that's my complaint about Bayonetta is the story, but this is action, so I get it. I understand.
Yes, action adventure focuses on the gameplay, not the story. So I know not everyone is upset with the story, but certainly there is a sentiment online that they are unhappy with how some of the story went. They don't think it's bad; they're just unhappy with how certain things went down. But action adventure, I think, goes to Bayonetta 3, deservedly so, based on the discussions I've had and the nominations and other chatter, which I'll get into later. But congratulations, Platinum Games, Bayonetta 3. Moving on. Best RPG. I would say probably the most difficult category in all of the awards this year, because the Switch is an RPG machine. gets plenty of exclusive RPGs, all from top tier developers and publishers. So I don't know what more you could ask for. Your nominees in the RPG category are as follows: Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, Citizen Sleeper, Omori, Live Alive, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Jack Move, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Persona 5 Royal, Tactics Ogre Reborn, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, and Chained Echoes. And your winner, GoNintendo's best RPG of 2022 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't think that's any surprise there. The conversation for best RPG almost pretty much overwhelmingly went to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Again, as I say a bit in the written feature, I mean, it's the culmination of everything Monolith Soft has learned over the years, as well as the culmination of the Xenoblade franchise. So it's not surprising that the third installment is seen as the best one. So I don't, like I said, whatever the other category was that I thought wouldn't be contested much, this is the one I think above all others where everybody who hears this award winner will be like, yes, that's deserved, or yeah, at least yes, I understand it. And again, so many fantastic RPGs in this list. I feel bad for Chained Echoes because it came out very late in the year and it got a ton of huge buzz at the end of the year for people who played it because they're like, this is a fantastic RPG. It's just its timing in the year meant it didn't get factored into a lot of conversations. So as I said, we put it in the nominees. I think it very much deserves to be there. Do not skip over it. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It was the one to beat. No surprises there. And nobody beat it. So there you go. What do we got here? We're coming down to it.
4, 3, 2.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh my God. Did we do a half hour? We did. I went into an H3 podcast. That's funny. Sorry about that. I was like, I know that guy's voice in the beginning.
This is
Gonna get claimed.
this is
Yeah, right.
cleared music, right?
This is all royalty free. Yes.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
Oh, we only have 2 categories left, people. It is the Player's Choice Award and our Game of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Go Nintendo podcast, perhaps annual Game Awards, is proud to present their final musical guest of the evening.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights
I knew who it was going to be.
down
I
low.
also knew you wouldn't say the name.
George Strait. I don't know. Who is it?
Oh, okay, sure. George, the Straight Man. I mean, it's definitely not George Strait, but George Strait, everybody. I believe that was Reba McEntire. trying to pick other country music stars that Mom Brain knows. Garth Brooks, everybody. Chris Gaines.
Hank Williams Sr.
Yeah.
Hank Williams Jr.
Anyway, I guess I'll do Player's Choice first. Now, you know what? I'm giving the power to the people. I'll do our Game of the Year first, and then the last one we'll do is you guys. Because without you guys, there would be no Go Nintendo. So let's do Go Nintendo's Game of the Year first. Go Nintendo's Game of the Year.
Hello, Steister.
Thank you for that. Slicer is here. We can now say the Game of the Year.
I didn't mean to hit that.
All right.
Sorry.
I haven't heard it in a long time.
Yeah.
And the Squidward Award goes to Game of the Year nominations. Your nominees are Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Citizen Sleeper, Neon White, Live Alive, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3, Tunic, Nier Automata, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Persona 5 Royal, Signalis, Bayonetta 3, It Takes Two, Inscription, Chained Echoes, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and Triangle Strategy. And your Go Nintendo Year of Our Lord 2022 Game of the Year goes to Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
I have spoken.
Oh, very good. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Obviously, for me, this was the most difficult choice. And when I say this was split among staff, I certainly mean that because This was neck and neck with another game. I won't say it until later.
Several
But-
people quit over this decision.
Everybody said at least this was their game of the year, or they could see this being the game of the year. It may not have been the one they picked overall, but they could see it. Tough category. But Kirby and the Forgotten Land did it. And as I write in my feature, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the reason why it just barely edged out other nominees is because, yes, it is a sequel, but it's a first step for Kirby into the world of 3D. And we've been waiting decades for this. And to hit it out of the park to the degree that it did deserves recognition. And it's the beginning of a whole new world for Kirby. And I really cannot think of a single complaint about the game. From music to gameplay to how 3D was handled. It's incredible. That's right. I can't think of one negative thing to bring up about the game. It gave me more content than I was expecting. It gave me a story that made me tear up, a first time ever for a Kirby game. This is just me personally speaking. The level design I felt was some of Kirby's best. It's just and most importantly, we have seen, now obviously this hasn't happened in a long time, but when some games made the transition from 2D to 3D, they lost their magic. They lost their spark. They lost what made them what they were. Some of those games still haven't made the transition to 3D successfully. I think we can all agree Sonic games, perhaps Sonic Frontiers is the best 3D Sonic game for its new foray into open zone gameplay.
Woo!
But Sonic has certainly stumbled in his 3D outings, some better than others. But there's countless Mega Man, some would argue, has never had a great 3D entry, or at least to the degree of the greatness of the 2D entries. There's plenty of franchises where 2D to 3D just fell apart.
This is the best transition from 2D to 3D since Bionic Commando.
That's right. Since Hot Dog Arms. I think, is it my game of the year personally? Maybe.
I understand.
I can certainly see that argument. But I don't think there's anything wrong at all with this game getting game of the year. I think very well deserved. Certainly one of my favorite games of 2022. I will say that. But we stamp of approval. That's how it sounds. GoNintendo stamp of approval on Kirby and the Forgotten Land for your 2022 Game of the Year. Congratulations, Kirby. And all the other winners that we picked. Congratulations on us choosing you. There is, but it was not chosen by us.
Before you finish up, I just wanted to make one change to the award ceremony.
Yes.
That can be adjusted for this last category. I'm a little surprised they're called nominees and not nominees. So if you want, it's up to you.
Well, there's no nominees for this because it was vote by. They just said whatever they wanted.
Well, we blew it this year.
Nominos. Next year maybe the nominees. It's hard to say. Maybe. All right, and we will wrap it up on the Player's Choice Award. And yes, Player's Choice, people, you have a different looking award than the GoNintendo Award, just so you feel extra special.
We got
what
a
happens?
logo!
Have
What
you seen the
happens if
award
you-
logo? No, you haven't, unless you're on Patreon.
I was gonna say, what happens when you tweet this out
For
to
$1.
the winners, and they're like, "Where's my statuette? Where's my
In
statue?"
the mail, and I will mail them a picture. Thank you to Video Cookies, staffer Video Cookies, who came up with not one, not two, but 3 different potential GoNintendo Award designs. We posted the winner on Patreon earlier this week. You will see the winner, obviously, in like 10 minutes because I use it in the article and every picture. It's Mom Brain, you saw it. It's a phenomenal design.
Excellent.
It's
It's
a phenomenal design. But again, the one used in the
Am I on Patreon
No.
for $1?
Actually see it.
the Player's Choice uses one of the other designs that he made. So 2 of his 3 designs get used. But Player's Choice, no nominees because you guys just named the game you wanted. You tweeted, you commented, you left Patreon comments, you did it all. The numbers have been. I wish we had like a like a computer noise, like beep, boop, 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 boop. The tabulations have been done.
Numbers.
There you go. I will say, our Game of the Year winner came in second. So it was the second most chosen game
Who's ours?
by players. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh, makes sense.
It does, yes.
Sorry, just tuning in.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land was the second choice according to people who voted. First place, nearly doubled Kirby and the Forgotten Land's votes. I wasn't ready for that.
Is first place on the list of nominees from?
Yes.
Oh.
The players have spoken. The Player's Choice winner for 2022 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. A commanding lead for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I will tell you. All right, so like I said, nearly doubled the amount of votes for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Nearly doubled. I will tell you, votes also went to. Let me look at the list here. Tunic. Tunic got a lot of strong votes. I was very pleased, B surprised. Pleasantly
Doesn't
surprised, I
anyone
should
care
say.
what I think?
Sure, Josh. What do you think?
Call of Duty
Call
Pro.
of Duty Pro. This is Switch only, Josh. So that's why I couldn't be nominated.
That's none of your business.
So yes, let me see here. Kirby was nominated by a lot of people. Live Alive was nominated by a smaller amount of people, but it did get enough for me to make a tally of. Bayonetta 3 made it in there. Triangle Strategy made it in there. But I'm going to say it was Tunic, then Kirby, then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So there you go. The Weebs have spoken. The JRPG has taken home the prestigious Player's Choice Award. Some would say the most important award of the year, as voted on by you, the players.
But I've seen it.
Don't hate the game, hate the player, as they say. So there you go, everybody. That was fun. This part was fun.
Wow.
Putting it together was not fun. Man, to tell you I was sweating bullets last night putting together this feature is an understatement. I was tabulating and crunching, and I was going, man, the pressure. But hopefully, I'm sweating a little bit. Hopefully you were pleased with the results. Now, as I said, I go into much greater detail in the written article, which I am going into the publisher right now, and it will be live in a second. I have to set to now. I have to change it from draft to publish. I have to click save. And if I did everything right, which I usually don't, it is live on GoNintendo.com.
Oh, look at that.
With the
graphic.
logo. You can click on that. You can see all the you can see the full recap of the winners, along with the extensive blurbs I've written on every winner. Player's Choice is at the bottom, just below our award, and you can see the different logo there. So if you'd like a recap, if you'd like to read more details, if you'd like to trumpet it out and say like, hey, I voted for one of these things and my choice won. Or, hey, GoNintendo's so stupid. They picked a Kirby and the Forgotten Land as Game of the Year when it clearly should have been Anime Titty
What?
Shooter
I
4.
didn't click send yet. How are you reading that? Oh,
I have a live view at the back end. I can see you typing it out.
son of a gun.
So there you go. An extensive feature written for everyone. Please enjoy that. Thank you, everyone, for your votes and your time. And to those who joined us here live,
Holy smokes.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Congratulations to all of our winners.
18-year history.
First
But I've
time
seen
awards.
everything.
If you were born on this day when GoNintendo if you were born when GoNintendo started, enjoy your first year at college.
Enjoy your first awards. Also, I said we're doing awards this year because we revamped the site and we have a staff now. So even if I don't think my own voice is important enough to hear, I should do something where the staff is heard, and they were heard and reflected in these winners. Now, we could do
Now
a
to get
little.
new staff that likes neon white.
Well, here's the other thing. I was going to say we could do a little, since we're going to go into this territory, we could do a little, which games do I think should have won each one? I will say, I believe that Neon White got shut out. Yes, I agree. But I don't know what it could have won. I don't know if it should have won Hidden Gem because it's been embraced by more people than expected. So I don't know how hidden it is. But yes, if Deux or Nikki Hill or Mombrain, if you have any other comments or choices in the award winners that you'd like to say, I wouldn't have chosen this, I would have chosen this personally, go right ahead.
I appreciated how how serious you took it. When you got to the one that Inscription won, which was best, I believe, narrative.
Yes.
I was a little bummed out because I was like, Backbone's got such a great narrative as far as like when I think of a narrative traditionally, what that would mean. But then you went on to explain, it's more than just the narrative. It was more of like using the medium of video games to tell this story. And Inscription certainly could only be a video game, and it's done so perfectly that I couldn't get upset about that. That choice there.
Thank you. I really tried to explain that in the written feature too. I want to stress every nominee has a fantastic story and is told it in a fantastic way. It's just when I'm trying to whittle down what the winner should be, you have to look at things that differentiate themselves in some way. And there's a few games in there that tell their stories in methods that only games can do. And I felt that at least put a handful of games a cut above. And that's how I arrived. And based on other input, obviously, that's how I arrived at Inscription. So, like traditional stories, stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, from my understanding, or Xenoblade, or Citizen Sleeper. Personally, I really loved One Shot World Machine Edition. Really loved that. That's a very unique narrative, also done only through the medium of games, but Inscription.
Should
and
you
I
cut the award show music?
Why is it driving people nuts?
No, I don't know. I'm just wondering if
it's gone. Inscription. All I can say is play it, and hopefully you will come to agree, or at least better understand the decision there. But listen, for me personally, narrative is the most important category here, because I think these companies and developers have done amazing things with these. They're doing incredible things. What would we do without developers? They're phenomenal. These are the games to go to if you're looking for something narrative wise to really sink your teeth into. Mombrain.
Beacon Pines.
I'm sorry, Beacon Pines was added to the list of nominees, and I forgot to read it. Beacon Pines was nominated for narrative. I apologize for that.
I thought I heard it on the list
I
somewhere.
named it in something else, but I have an updated Word document or a Google Doc list that has it in there. It was nominated. My apologies. Anything else anybody wants to point out?
You done good.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The same kind of thing. For most impressive port, I was like, well, if Inscription won the last one, why wouldn't that be the most impressive port? But then you went on to explain, technically, No Man's Sky would be the most impressive port, and I can appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you for doing this, Ellen.
I mean, thank you, Bruce Willis. I think, when it comes to port, you got to look at it from a technical standpoint. You got to look at something that people wouldn't consider possible to run on Switch, or would take a lot of work to get running on Switch. So, if I was really, really going to narrow it down, like Persona 5 Royal, Nier Automata, the winner, obviously, No Man's Sky, and maybe Tunic and It Takes Two. Maybe those two as well. It Takes Two more so than Tunic, but the game, most impressive port in the sense of not anything to do with gameplay, but impressive in the fact that it made its way over to Switch and is technically sound for the most part. I can give you my list of what I would pick like in each category. Best multiplayer, Splatoon 3, I agree. Best RPG, I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3 yet. I'm sure that will become best RPG for me. But as it stands, I would go with, based on what I played, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I think that's a phenomenal game. Best action adventure for me, I would go either Neon White or Tunic. I would go either Neon White or Tunic, yes.
Well, Neon White's the action and Tunic's the adventure.
Yeah. Hidden Gem. I love Electhead.
So
I'm
that's
not
why,
I'm not
like,
mad about that.
Return to Monkey Island, right?
Yes.
Is an action adventure. It's an adventure title.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an
Yeah.
action game.
We're combining both.
You know, it gets tough that way.
I Hidden Gem, a Wavetail, Lunistis. I'd go with those two. I loved Right as well. So there's that one's tough for me. That's a tough category. A lot of great ones. Narrative, Inscription is Inscription. Like I said, One Shot World Machine Edition is potential as well. Citizen Sleeper I haven't played yet, but I'm chomping at the bit to play that. Hindsight, I gushed about Hindsight. I absolutely gushed, and that is one that tells a story through the medium of games as well in a unique way. So all those are possible. Port, No Man's Sky, I think is the one to go with. Soundtrack, so tough. Neon White, I think the soundtrack really enhances that game. Tunic, unbelievable soundtrack. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, phenomenal. There's not a bad soundtrack in here. If I had to eliminate games, I might eliminate River City Girls 2, just because I prefer the first game soundtrack. It's not a bad soundtrack. Electhead, I might eliminate for the sheer amount of songs in the game. There's not a ton in there. Everyone is outstanding, but there's not a lot of songs in there. That's a really tough one for me. And Game of the Year for me, I think would be Tunic. Tunic or Neon White again. Yeah,
I would have
Tunic or Neon White.
You would pick Tunic.
That's my choices. There you go. All right, that's enough for me. Nikki Hill, Mom Brain, I don't think you've played enough. Your games of the year. You don't have to pick one. You can just pick games of the year.
Oh.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Do anything?
Out of all those, it's tough. It's Neon White probably.
It doesn't have to be my nominees either. It could be just you in general.
I'm talking. Wait, I'm sorry.
I'm saying I didn't know if you were trying to pick from my list of nominees or you in general. I want this to be a you in general thing.
Well, if we're talking just Nintendo, what was on Nintendo Switch? There's nothing I think I played that would be any better than any of your nominees. So probably for me, it would be Neon White, but Inscription is so I'm not finished with it yet, but going to talk about that today.
That's exciting. Nikki Hill has something to say here.
Yeah,
an issue.
So I'm just realizing, it's probably not like anyone's forerunner now, but in the past it could have been. But Portal just came out for the first time on the Switch this year.
Yeah, and
I just know like the storytelling in that without like telling letting you learn as you go and stuff like that. It was really.
I get it.
Interesting.
Also, Portal was nominated in Port. I'm sorry. Again, that was my Google Docs list and not my Discord list.
Well, I was going to say props to Do for actually paying attention to everything you said this whole time.
You zoned out.
A hard time focusing on all that, and there's a lot of words and information coming at me.
There were a lot of words.
Sorry to interrupt, but what's funny is when I'm there in person, it's difficult for me to pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm watching you guys on the YouTube video, and I'm like, for some reason, it makes it more real. It's kind of like, oh, these are real people. I don't want to be snarky or mean to them. I don't know why, but if I was looking you in the eye, I would be snarky as hell.
Well, maybe someday, if you're lucky enough, you can meet us in person.
Rami, will you give Do Michaels the Honey Boo Boo heart?
This one?
No, with the kisses. The heart with the kisses.
I don't remember how it goes. Oh, there you go.
The only things that I played that came out new this year were Kirby and the Forgotten Realms.
Hi, Buck.
Electhead, Portal. Portal 2, but I still didn't finish Portal 2.
Let me
Ooh,
interrupt
I
for
saw
1
the
second.
kiss.
Buck, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry you've had a bad year.
No,
Hopefully,
no. Buck said,
I
I've
missed
been
it.
bad this year.
I've been bad this year. Oh, I'm sorry you've been bad this year, but maybe you could be badder next year. Ooh, a baddie. A bad bitch, if you will. What
Ooh.
rules?
Also,
Anyway,
like,
Nicky Hill, sorry.
Limbo is that the first time Limbo's been out on the Switch? I don't remember.
Was that this year?
I mean, it's out now. I don't know. I bought it on discount. So
It's like it's on a discount for $199 right now on the Switch. So if you have it,
Limboner.
and Hoa.
That was this year.
Yeah, I mean that would be like best and graphics or some. I don't know.
We didn't do best graphics. Why? Because I'm not doing that.
Worried about.
Go F yourself, best graphics. I mean, whatever. We probably should have. I didn't even think of it until this very. Hand to God and Comanche and whatever, Buddy the podcast dog, did not even consider best graphics until you said it this very moment.
Yeah,
Never even crossed my mind.
But it's also not like it's not necessarily the graphics. It's like what they did in the fact that
best graphics / art style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Limbo
came to the Switch in 2018.
But I thought Hoa was just like lacking story wise and everything else. So, it's not.
Speak up there, Whisper
not
Boy.
Well, I also don't want to speak up about that. I appreciate what they did. Anyway, great job. Next year, if there is one, let's just keep in mind maybe since it's Switch, maybe switch like thumbnail or icons.
Best Switch icon. People will go nuts over that
There's
one.
so many though. Like I don't know how you really have to find some hidden gems
every
in that,
year. Yeah, I'll leave that one to you if we do that. If we do awards next year, you do that category. Everybody feel they said their piece. Everybody good? Everybody anything to add? Do or anybody else here?
I'm glad that you didn't do a best graphics category. Maybe you could say best art style, but then you're getting so far into like what's that word where it's everybody has their own opinion about it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I just think like
it
for
is
what they accomplished in that is something that but
visually
it's not,
speaking, I agree with you on that. Yeah,
it's hard to.
You're right, dude.
It's very different.
It's tough because it's awards, so it's all opinion, of course. But there's just something when you go to that, like even music, like it's tough. It is very tough. But I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about visuals where I feel it's too far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Outside of gameplay or graphics or gameplay and music and things like that. But again, it's awards. They all are only opinion related. Obviously, if your game didn't get nominated, that does not mean we think it's a bad game. It might not just be for us, or we might be ignorant of it. I literally went through Metacritic to get a full list of every single game that came out on Switch this year and went through, it was like 18 pages worth of games to make sure at least everything was considered.
That's not a complete list.
Why? There were 5 games on each page. No, I was like,
no, because what we talk about in releases every week, like.
But how many were on each page? You never ask that.
How many were on each page?
Like
15.
No. You go look right now, but it was like hundreds on each page. So yes, I did see Anime Titty Shooter 4000 and all that stuff. I saw that in there.
Wait, that's a real game?
No, there's games of that genre. What could we call that genre? We need. I don't want to call it anime titty.
Gratuitous hooters.
ATD. ATS.
Playable hentai.
No, it can't be hentai. It's got to be like. It should have been the Waifu Award. And the Waifu Awards for 2022 goes to, because all those games only have women in them. Respect women. That could be a category because there's a lot of games that come out in that category. So next year maybe if we do it, we'll see. We'll find out. I got to be honest. This doesn't feel like a show where we should go into news.
I'm gonna agree.
I feel like we should go into what we played and play out the rest of the show that way.
Music? Probably not, right? Because we did.
We gotta do music.
Okay.
Oh, you kidding me?
And it should only be music from the top lists and really test this guy.
Oh,
Let
man.
me see. Let me just double check top stories, make sure there's not something that's incredibly important to.
Oh, there is.
No,
Karibo already
no. There's
answered.
for the sake of humor and continuing show tradition and annoying people at the table, we will do only one top story because it is the
Oh, well, wait.
top 30 most downloaded Switch eShop titles in Japan.
But the most recent top story, we have to say, because it's the way we do things here, the most recent top story are the GoNintendo Game Awards.
No,
What-
it's
what'd
not.
you call
I didn't
them?
make that a top story.
Oh,
It's featured.
it's the most updated feature.
It's the spotlight feature. That is correct.
Well-
yeah. What the hell? We put out this Reese's peanut butter pie for you.
I've been staring at it.
Eat it.
Smelling
Don't just stare at it. Eat it.
But in GoNintendo tradition, whatever format, the top comment, the only comment currently is from Karibo. And Karibo
Oh my
said,
God, watching live.
"Great showcase, RMC. Fantastic job for the first GoNintendo Awards."
Thank you, Currybo. I appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta tweet it out and all that jazz. But anyway, we are doing this because it is tradition to torture you guys. So I don't need to say listen closely because you already said you are. This is the top 30 most downloaded games on the Switch eShop in Japan for all of 2022. So
Didn't we do
to
Hell yeah.
summarize, Japan only, eShop, Switch. Now, just to be clear, every game on the eShop, every
game released is on the eShop.
Yes.
Available on the
yes.
eShop.
Xenoblade.
Mom Brain dives in hot with Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Cool.
I suspect that's the one you meant.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
That's a lot of peanut butter.
It's nice. It's a good ratio.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was number 10 for the year. Congratulations, Mom Brain.
Nice.
Out 30?
At 30, yes.
Oh my God, it's a long list.
I'm not looking
Okay,
for
you
all
wanna go-
30.
You
Oh,
wanna
no.
go, Karen?
A mouthful of peanut butter. Give me a second.
Man, that Reese's cake looks great.
I had a piece of the other one yesterday. It was fantastic.
So Droth was here last night with her kid, one of her kids, to watch SmackDown. And so there were 2 in the package, and each of them weighs a half pound, and he ate most of it himself.
What's one wedge? 140?
Mhm.
I can do that. I gotta take a wedge. Anyway, keep guessing.
Mario Kart 8.
Oh, that's right. I can't just eat. I gotta do this. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 8.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. This is annoying. I shouldn't do this. I'm sorry. Number 14.
Kirby and the Forgotten Realms.
Can I bring my water in here?
You did. Not.
You could spray your mouth with duster.
I thought I did. Kirby and the Forgotten Realms, says Kirby Hill.
Kirby Hill.
Sorry. I don't know what happened to me. That's what it is for now on. Nikki Curb. Number 11. Yes, thank you very much.
this peanut butter cup?
Number 11. Yes.
Is that what I sound like?
Keep going until you get one wrong. I'll stop.
Splatoon.
Splatoon 3 is number 1.
Nice.
Numero uno.
Smash Bros.
Smash Brothers is number 13. Yes.
Near Automata.
Near Automata. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki Hill has ended the game.
We got him.
That's right.
Nice.
Hey, what happened?
Surprisingly, you didn't guess Clubhouse Games, which is on the list. Come on,
Is
Marine, while I eat
Bayonetta
this,
on the list
so
just
I'm
out
not
of
annoying,
curiosity?
would you
What was that? What number is it?
would you read that list for me?
Sure. Is my volume good?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 was Splatoon 3. Number 2, Pokemon Legends Arceus. And number 3, Pokemon Violet. And number 4, Pokemon Scarlet. Number 5, Monster Hunter Rise.
Wow, we missed a lot. I'm sorry I blew it for everyone.
Coming in at number 6 that you could have chosen but didn't was Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
That was said. He said that. Remember, I called him Kirby Hill.
I'm sorry. Number
I
7,
thought it was number 11.
Nintendo Switch Sports. Number 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 9, Overcooked 2. That's an exclamation point after Overcooked.
That's how it's written.
Overcooked! Number 10, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Excuse me. Number 11, Kirby's Dream Buffet.
Sorry, Dew. You're right to call me out on that. Kirby and the Forgotten Land was higher up. Kirby's Dream Buffet was number 11.
Number 12, ooh, looking pretty sus. Among Us.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Number 13 we got for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Number 14 we got Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 15 we should have got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 16, of course, Minecraft. Number 17, Human Fall Flat. Number 18, Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics for Nikki Hill to play one of. Number 19, Mario Party Superstars. 20, Monu. In parentheses. Oh, no, never mind. 21, eBaseball Powerful Pro Yaku 2022.
Yeah, that's a very popular, very long-running baseball franchise in Japan.
Please excuse my pronunciation. For number 22 is Futari de Nyanko Dai Senso.
Can I see it? I can take over the list now.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. 23, Inside. 24, Momotaro Dentetsu Showa. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm going to out myself here, and I'm going to open myself up for jokes because that is a train board game.
There's a lot more to that title that I'm
Wow, you knew
not
that
looking
one.
to
It's
buy.
just Momo, whatever.
Train
the
board?
first
Okay.
two words are the Dentetsu.
That's probably
Okay.
your number one downloaded. one.
Momotaro
25.
Dentetsu?
Dragon Quest 10, 26, Dragon Quest 3. 27, Resident Evil 6, 28, Splatoon 2. Wow, is that the only one that has 2 entries?
Well, Pokemon Arceus
Oh,
and
yeah.
Scarlet and Violet.
Well, you
Uh,
also just said Dragon Quest 3 and 10.
Okay, never mind. Fine.
Very good.
10?
29, Unravel 2, and squeaking in at number 30 is Undertale. By the way, I was looking
Undertale.
I was looking at Reddit
2022 Game of the Year for me.
and somebody posted the question, what whatever has the most obnoxious fan base or fandom, and Undertale was definitely up there.
What game or just fandom?
Like just whatever
Yeah.
franchise.
Let me
whatever.
rephrase that. What thing that people love
What rules?
has the fans that love it the most? Because I read that same list. And you know what was in there? Everything I like. Marvel, wrestling, anime. Like,
Yeah.
it's a who's who of what are people passionate about.
I also
That's
And then the
I'm
internet
just
comes
gonna
together
go
like,
out.
this is great. These people like this stuff and they're so annoying about it. Like, what's annoying, really? Where you're going on the internet
Should we just
because
give
you're
them a mirror?
sorting by controversial.
What
'Cause
rules,
you're-
you sons of bitches?
You don't understand it or like it, so you're like, I don't like the people that like this. Like, do you have people
really
coming to your
annoying right
house?
now.
Do you have people coming to your house telling you, like, you gotta watch this anime
I'm really
or
sorry
you're
I
a
brought it
bad
up.
person?
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry.
it's not your fault. I'm not mad at you. I just saw that thread as well. And it was enough for me to literally get up from my computer. I closed that tab, get up from my computer, and went to the living room and went on
See, that's
TikTok.
Ooh,
that's
not
one
to
of
the
those
living room.
instances where you could go for a walk.
One of the 2 rooms I had already went for my walk that day.
Oh no!
One of the 2 rooms I go into besides the bathroom, and sometimes I don't make it there. Thank you, Mom Brain, for reading that list. That was excellent.
The pleasure was mine
Ninja
entirely.
Blade says Japanese gaming prices were always interesting to me. As much as I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I honestly don't know if I'd pay 25% higher MSRP markup for it. I guess that'd be about $75 before tax. And Dragon Quest Offline is the same premium price over there, and that's not even a new game. Yeah, prices are not the best for games in general. It's an expensive hobby, but with things like Game Pass, you can play and enjoy a lot of great games for one lovely price a year. So there's
Premium.
ways.
I'd say premium.
And that's that. Mom Brain, what'd you play this week?
You're not gonna do
I
releases?
did not play anything.
It's the end of the year. It's nothing important.
Yeah,
coming
but we're talking about the potential forerunners of the nominees for next year's Game Awards.
up. No, because they came out this year.
No, but they're coming. These are coming out next year. They're starting
Well,
January 2nd.
You do Europe, so not yours.
Not mine's. Oh, they came out last year.
Yeah, this year. No, this year. Europe. Anyway,
no. Is it already the new year in Europe? What's going on over there?
no, but Europe's weekly releases talk about games that are out up to that point, so they wouldn't be next year games.
Well, we just finished up the year this year of the Lord of our Lord, and so go play games.
Nikki Hill, what did you play this week?
I don't even think I played one. I don't even think I turned one card of solitaire in Clubhouse games.
No,
Wow.
what has become of you?
Just been busy taking care of things,
Dude, what
Don't
you play
ask
this
what
week?
things. Hey, everyone, have a good week.
Hey, wop 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 wop. Dude, what'd you play?
Played a little Fortnite with the boys and with Nintendo the other night, which was fun.
Honest opinion, did you have a fun time?
Oh yeah, of course. Your sister's a lot of fun.
I thought it went well together. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. We won 2 at the end there, which was good. But anyways, who gives a crap?
Hey.
Oh, a lot of people do. I'm not there, so I can't see how many people are in the room applauding. It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot here. We had a live audience for the awards this time, but you're not here.
Mhm.
Anyway, what else did you play?
I played, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy IX in the beginning of the week, but I made the mistake of downloading Inscription and trying it out. And I haven't been playing anything else since all week. I cannot stop playing this godforsaken game.
Well, tell me how it's going, and also tell me how it's measuring against what you expected it to be.
So when everyone was like, everything you've read or heard about it, and then what you were saying about it, I was like, I was expecting something crazy to happen. But as I was getting into it, I was like, oh, it's just a really great atmospheric card game, and so addictive. But now things have changed. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's all so amazingly put together, brilliantly thought out, brilliantly executed. Every instance of this game is such a moment. I don't know how to even describe it. Even when you first open up the game, you just downloaded it, you're trying to start it, the new game tab is grayed out and you have to click continue. And you're like, what is going on here? And it's just right from the beginning, everything is tailored to this one experience. And once you get it, it's so awesome and a lot of fun, really addictive, hard to put down. The first, and a lot of games, I've talked about this a lot. Sorry, I'm not answering your question at all.
No,
go.
Go
on. But a lot of games with me that have become my favorite game over the years started out as an enemy to me. You know what I mean? Like Final Fantasy VII, I didn't enjoy the first 7 hours of that game, but for some reason I pushed through, and now we all know the story with that. Or Skyward Sword, I didn't like my first time through and had to revisit and play. This is a little bit different, Inscription, but right from the beginning, you're like, what am I missing? They're teaching me the rules as I go, but there's obviously things I'm not understanding. But then it just so organically comes to you while you're experiencing the whole game. And I don't know, you get to a point where it's not quite as open-ended as you thought it was going to be. Like Hades, you could play forever if you wanted to, really, kind of. I mean, you can beat it, but you can keep playing it. This, you kind of get to a point at a certain point, and I don't even want to say anything about the game for people. It's great so far.
So without spoilers,
what was your question?
Without spoilers, I do want to say something. So in your experience, you've gotten to a point in gameplay where, let's say, things shift?
Yeah, it's happened. Well, where are you? Because I might be. Dude,
No.
I've been doing
I
nothing
know.
but playing this game. So
I know all about it. You're not going to spoil things for me. So
okay, so it's let's say it's shifted twice then for me.
wow. Retsuza in the chat says, "Sold me on it, Deux, with a picture of them buying it on the Switch eShop right now."
Retsuza, you will be so happy that you made this purchase. It's so, you know how I hem and haw about prices. It's so worth $20.
Yeah. Just since everybody knows about the card game, that, like you were saying, it organically teaches you how to play. I can't think of another game that teaches you its mechanics so smoothly. Like, it does such a great job of teaching you how to play. It's just very
Absolutely.
it's very I don't know, it's like you just absorb how to play.
And I got hung up even when I was talking to you last week about your experience with it, and I still hadn't downloaded the game at that point. I was hung up on the idea of like dying. I was like, wait, you can die? Well, I don't want to die a lot, like that. For some reason that makes me apprehensive, because then it's like, oh, when I beat the game, it's going to be like, you died 200 times. That's not good enough. But like, once I started getting into it, it was like, okay, we're not really keeping score. Maybe the game is underneath it all, but like, it's not about how many times you die. It's like there's a bigger picture going on.
Yeah.
And it's so addictive and so fun. And if the game was just that card game, I could play that forever and be happy. I really could. It's
Yeah,
that
right?
fun,
That game's great. I was like, I want to play this in real life.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's cool. It's
Maybe.
so cool.
Plus,
I
I'm
don't
not
know
surprised you like it,
anything
Deux.
about the developer, but great job. Kudos to them. I heard that, I guess they do like meta kind of games, which makes sense, but I don't know. Like, I'm not usually too, other than like Psycho Mantis having me put my controller into the other port. Like, I usually don't give a crap about that kind of stuff. That the teenager game with the anime girls that what I'm talking about.
Doki Doki.
Like, yeah, so
No
like
spoilers on that
Doki
stuff.
Doki, where like stuff in that happens, and you're just like, oh, I see. Like, very cool, but like those, I don't fall for those easily. This one totally has me with its kind of like world within the game, within the world, kind of.
Yeah.
But
also, I'm not surprised you like it because there are cards with rats on them, so that's halfway the rat hat. There's a few cards with rats. There's a rat king. There's a pack rat. There's
May the rats eat your eyes!
something else about rats, but
I'm a lady rat.
yeah, that game is great. That game is so great.
What's great is you can look at the rules like whenever you want. It's not really rules. It's more just like explaining what each sigil on the cards mean.
Yeah.
And like if you look at that book in like the first 5 minutes of playing
What rules?
it'll be enough to get you to like quit. But if you just play the game as it's teaching you and then look at the book later, it's amazing what the human brain can comprehend.
Yeah, I think again, you just organically pick up some of that stuff. But I took a quick look at the book and I skimmed through a few pages and I was like, I'm sure I'll figure it out while I play. And you can bring up the reference page when you're looking at specific cards. So I'd go back and forth for a little bit, and then eventually you learn them all. You know what they mean, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I wish, like I said, I wish I could play just the card game over and over, but we'll see where it goes. The story is pretty cool. So,
well, I'm really happy you got it and are enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's as long as you are an open-minded gamer, I think it is a must-play game. I think it's a must-play even if you're not an open-minded gamer. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit different than what you expect, but I highly recommend you go into it. And I have very little doubt that most will enjoy it. It's something special this year, no doubt. One of the special ones this year. So that's it for you. You played that, and that sucked up the rest of your time.
I've been playing it so much. You know how I'm obsessed with sorting my Switch games by
Yes,
time played.
yes.
And I'm on the new Switch now, so all of that has been erased, basically. So now it's like Final Fantasy IX is number 1, of course, and then Mario Kart 8 was number 2, and in like a day, Inscription shot up to number 2, and I can almost guarantee you I'm going to play it more than Final Fantasy IX, as long as it lets me go back and play that first part again. Because holy cow.
Have you been
So,
scared? Have you found yourself
Oh, good point. We were
scared?
talking about that.
So here's the thing. It's not a scary game at all whatsoever. Does it have a 100% taking itself seriously to obtain a mood? Absolutely it does. And it somehow does it in like, it's kind of tongue in cheek, but it's not funny. It's like, but it's not scary, but it's just perfect. It's just so well done. I can't describe it, but yeah, it would be in like a spooky category.
Nicky Hill's having an internal struggle right now because he's afraid to go into it, but he knows he wants to.
You'd love it. You would absolutely love it just from a... I mean...
Hi,
Kufu. It's all good.
You guys speak so highly of things sometimes, and I'm like, I don't necessarily see myself having like this. Like I haven't had the way you guys are experiencing or expressing your feelings. I have not felt this often with any sort of media or anything. So I just get like, I really just want to go into it and experience it the exact same way. And I have this expectation that like, I'm going to experience this. I'm going to have this. And the way you guys talk about it, I don't think I can have this. And so like, it just makes me shut down. It's a 100% me thing. It's a deep rooted me thing. Let's talk about it sometime.
I mean, you could just play it and see how it goes.
Could I?
Yeah.
And then what? Disappointment. Oh.
But maybe
the reality is if I don't have the same experience, I didn't have the same experience.
That's
Move
right.
on to the next thing. But you know what? I just want like
any experience is better than no experience.
I had this experience in the past where I would go out to dinner with somebody and I would order something to eat and they would order something to eat and they would always say, man, every time, like, I just want to be eating what you're eating because that just looks so good. And I feel like hearing you guys talk about it, I just want to have that depth of an experience, that passionate of a response. And there's not much passion in these old bones, so I don't know.
Well, trust me, I'm coming from the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I have passion for a lot of things to a degree that many don't. And I feel like I am on another planet and I am an alien because I don't understand at all why people don't experience things the way I do. So at least in an alienating feeling, I understand where you're coming from. We're just feeling it the different ways. But that's my motivation to experience things just so I can talk about them. Like just having the experience. Like, you know, like I said, I didn't like the Banshees of Inisherin, but I am very happy I watched it because I experienced it and can talk about it. I would have loved to have loved the movie, but and then like I just watched Come On, Come On, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I didn't know what to expect, but I really liked it. So, you know, any experience you have is an experience that fuels you wherever you go, good or bad. You got something and you take it with you, and sometimes you surprise yourself with what it is. So. Not surprisingly, I say give it a go.
Did you have any emotional feelings during Come On, Come On? Did you? I thought a lot of the music in it went well with the family themes for some reason, and like I got emotional at certain parts. And I was just curious if you felt emotional.
I almost cried at one part. I didn't cry, but I did feel emotional at certain parts too. And to tell you the truth, one part that really almost pushed me over the edge wasn't anything related to like the story. It was one of the side interviews, and it was like one of the kids basically talking about how
his mom.
Yes, they won't let him show emotion.
Let him cry.
Yes, right? And I was like, this is horrible. But yeah, there were other pieces in the story where I was definitely emotional. Yeah, it was very good. I really enjoyed that movie. And like I left you a long voice note. I took a lot from it and really appreciated it. So yep, I was emotional without a doubt. Not like crying like I was when Shawn Michaels had to kill Ric Flair, but I was still emotional. So that's it, dude. That's what you played. You're good.
That's it, Nikki. I recommend it, man. I just think you'd like it. I mean, forget about what other people's experiences are. Deep down, I think at a core level, it's a game you'd probably have fun playing, and you'd appreciate like the atmosphere of it and how well it's all done. So
yeah, just looking at it, it doesn't look like a game that I would necessarily enjoy playing, which is why I just feel like, man, everyone's having an incredible experience. So part of it could be, yeah, if I just try, maybe I'll have an incredible experience. But at the same time, it's just like this is why when I'm talking to people, I don't want to like speak my true emotions about how I feel about it, because it hypes it up to a level where like it might be unattainable, and then people are going to experience it, be like, what did you experience? Because I don't have the same response. And that's fine to have different responses, but like somebody enjoys it. But if I hype it up to a place where like, they enjoy it, but they're like, oh, I expected so much more when I spent my money on this sort of thing. But
I'm coming from a different place, so I'm probably not the one to take advice from here.
You
But
don't have to say it again. We all know what you feel. You've said it for the past 3 weeks.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to say, you know why? Because I'm passionate about it. If you are passionate about something, share your passion. Who gives a crap what anybody else thinks? I understand it's frustrating when others, or saddening when others don't feel that, but don't let stifle your passion for something. Sure, there's reading the room and being like, I'm not going to talk about something 20 minutes, and I can clearly see no one's interested, but they're going to get a little taste because that's me. It's something I enjoy and who I am, and I'm excited or like it or love it or whatever. So don't. Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I don't have passion. Go back and listen to last week's podcast.
What happened last week?
Home Alone.
Oh, that's right. Oh, now ruined for you.
But
the phone call.
Worst movie ever.
The plot holes. You could drive trains through them.
But
so you could drive a
trains. He goes with trains, dude. He went with trains.
You could drive the Wet Bandits van through it. There you go.
But yeah, enjoy. You know what? Let's take this year to enjoy something we all enjoy on our own. We don't have to tell people how much we enjoy it.
There you go. Nikki Hill's advice is next year, enjoy things by yourself and don't talk to anybody.
Do things you enjoy.
Yes, that's true. That's certainly
you know what?
true.
Talk about the things you enjoy.
Yeah.
But don't tell me about it, because I'll judge you. I'm kidding. I won't judge you. I support you.
What'd you play, Mr. Cowboy?
Oh, thank you for asking. I played
on this?
Fortnite. I played it with friends and family and had a great time. Boy, that hammer, I'm in my element with that hammer. I love it so much. No greater satisfaction in a video game right now, where you are hurtling through the air with the hammer, and you see a target and you line up and you smash the ground and send a guy flying into the storm and he dies. It's so good. It's so good.
It's the best method of travel in a long time. I mean, just hit, like, using that hammer to cover ground is so much fun.
I'm gonna be so sad when they take that hammer away.
Being able to dive bomb somebody after flying like 4 miles across the map. It's amazing.
I know you guys know when I play games online, I'm always yelling and screaming and excited about whatever's going on, but I cannot stop or stifle myself when it comes to the hammer. Like I am like an anime character. When I am like raining down on somebody with the hammer, I am yelling. It just feels amazing. It's so much fun. But yes, Fortnite is still wonderful and play it a lot. I also played a lot of Inscription this week. Very much enjoying it. Very impressed with it. Let me tell you, I'm not as far as Deux is, but I am about to be where Deux is, I believe. But
How do you know all about like what's to come? You read about the game or something?
Unfortunately, like, when it comes to review copies and press and all that stuff, certain things are outlined and told you not to discuss. So I know details before playing the game, unfortunately. Some of
Do
those
you
are
ever
more.
email them back and say, spoiler alert?
Some of them are more verbose than others, but yeah, I know elements of what's going on. It wasn't spelled out letter for letter, but big things were discussed. But yes, I'm really enjoying that game. Boy, oh boy. Well worth your time. Hopefully you enjoy it, Retsuza. I think that might be all I played this week. Oh, I played stuff on Christmas. That was last Saturday. What was that? Last Sunday? Yeah, I played Jackbox Party Pack 9 with family. This was all with family. Mansion of the Hidden Souls. That might be all that I played. But yeah, majority this week was Fortnite and Inscription. Helped my mom set up her Xbox Series S. She's playing Fortnite on there now and having a grand old time. I downloaded Norco for her because I really think she loves books, but she doesn't like games with a lot of reading. But now she's got Game Pass, so I was like, it doesn't matter. Just get it and see what you think. If you don't like it, you don't like it. So I'm excited to see what she says. Now, if we're talking about games of the year in general, Norco, at the very least, is in my running for game of the year. I think easy choice for game of the year.
I can agree.
That's a hell of a game. On brain, Norco, got to play it.
Norco.
Will you play it?
Sure.
Will you wear wigs?
When will you wear
When
wigs?
will you play Norco? So that's that. I think that's it for me. Let's move on to questions. We have send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Mom Brain, pay attention.
Paying attention.
Anastasia Beaverhausen asks, who is your favorite Muppet and why? I aspire to be Piggy because she's an icon, but I love Gonzo for the chaos. And Anastasia sent me a lovely picture of Miss Piggy in the email. Who is your favorite Muppet?
Now we're talking like straight Muppet. Like we're not going with like Fraggles or Sesame
Ready, Mom
Street
Brain?
or...
Who is your favorite Muppet? Were they on the Muppet Show? They're a Muppet. Unless it's a human.
Not quite a mop. It's not quite a puppet.
Yeah, we're not talking about
man.
Fraggle Rock or any of that stuff. Muppets.
Because I would say Moogie is from Fraggle Rock. I really love. I guess out of like the classic Muppets cast, I really do love
Wish I
Kermit.
could hit the drum roll for you. Oh,
I really
Kermit.
do love Kermit. He's such a sweetheart.
I don't know. I saw him shooting a gun on TikTok.
That is a pretty good one. I do have
this is one. This is one where you could say something like Kermit, and you wouldn't be ostracized for being like a front runner. You know what I mean? Like
Kermit is
he's
fantastic.
Like the one main character I feel like that you could just be like, he's definitely my favorite, and you can't really question that.
What's not to like?
But,
Agreed.
He's funny.
Agreed.
He's humble.
I do love Miss Piggy. You know, she's
for you.
Thank you. But I've always had a real soft spot for Rolf. Always. Yep.
For his talents or just him in general?
I mean, I always just wanted to hug him. There's something about him that I just think is...
I didn't even think about him, but the second you said that, I kind of had a rush of warmth come through my body.
So your answer is
so
Rolf?
I think I'm gonna...
I think I have to now.
Yeah. Right. Well, then who are you going with?
Well, Rolf was my is my favorite. So I was going to say him. That's why I was clapping for Mom Brain.
3 Rolfs, and he's not even in my running.
And what about you?
2 very easy answers. This argument would be more compelling if I remember the guy's name. The little shrimp prawn guy.
Oh, Pepe.
Pepe
I think
is
it's
fantastic.
Pepe, right?
I don't know. Look him up.
Yeah.
Or the Swedish chef.
Pepe is pretty
Come
great.
on. Also, honorable mention to Beaker.
I mean, aren't those characters considered like offensive to Sweden and France?
Well, Pepe,
Pepe,
I believe would lean more like Hispanic. No?
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's fine.
I never thought I never thought of Pepe as offensive. I guess the Swedish Chef would be offensive, but I just love the combination of real human hands with a Muppet. So that gets my
Well,
nod.
if
And Beaker,
if
come
I
on.
were there, you would have seen my face when I said what I said and known that it was a joke. But I'm glad that you're taking it seriously.
No,
and
no.
you
I
guys-
mean, you're not wrong. I've thought about that, but I just
I've
love the
never
Swedish
heard
Chef.
negative anything towards the Swedish Chef.
I mean, we've all done the hurdy for like Swedish people, which I guess is offensive.
I've never done it
yes,
for
but-
Swedish people, so maybe.
Oh. But yeah, I think it's got to go to whatever his name is. Did you figure out that guy's name yet?
I think it's Pepe.
What do you mean you think? You got a laptop in front of you.
She doesn't need to do your research.
Shrimp.
He's not a shrimp, he's a prawn. And
Muppet.
yes, Pepe the king prawn.
Oh, I said shrimp or puppet. Yeah, there he
His
is.
full name is Pepino Rodrigo Serrano Gonzalez, and he hails from Spain.
He's the best. He's the best. How can you not? He hangs out with Gonzo, so you know he's down for
He's
freaks.
El Mejor.
I love when it's Muppets from Space when he talks into the fan.
Yes.
There is something about that is so freaking funny.
Oh, is that him? Did Anastasia Beaverhausen just post a picture of him? Is that him?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to go back to the chat. Yes, that's him. There you go. Come
Oh
on.
yeah, that thing's hilarious. Yeah.
That's great.
He's great. He is
Also,
great.
honorable mention to the eagle guy. I like him.
Uncle Sam.
The big blue eagle unibrow
Sam.
guy. There you go. We're very passionate here about Muppets.
The
Muppets are great.
There's
Yep.
not. I mean, here's the thing. Can you name Muppets that you really, really dislike? I mean, I can't really.
No, I don't think I can. I also love that big bear. You know, the grumpy looking bear guy. He's great.
Sweetums is great.
You know, I gotta
Animal,
say,
I love Animal.
I'm not crazy about Miss Piggy. I think she's funny, but I don't like how she treats Kermit. So, Animal, I could give or
Dynamic's
take.
Great though.
All the what is it, Dr. Teeth? All those people, I could give or take.
Electric Mayhem.
Really.
I just
I don't hate them, but
watched. This is the first year, I guess, where I watched Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas twice.
I had never seen that until like 2 years ago.
It's
Never
the
even
best.
heard of it. It
It's the
was
best.
pretty great.
I like the Muppet Christmas movie that's
Yeah.
like they all get together and like the Fraggles are there and like every Muppet Family Christmas, I think it
I
is.
don't know if
Sure.
I've ever seen.
It's
that.
a good one. It's a good
Saw
one.
the Metzer link. That's great. Well, there's your Muppet answer. We'll always talk about Muppets. The Muppets are great and do not get the amount of credit they deserve.
Oh,
I
is
think
this-
they are
Is
legit
this what
funny.
you were talking about? Kermit shooting a gun?
No, it's like I'd have to. It's like him in
He's
like,
like,
a trench
you know,
coat
when he
and
does
a-
his news
Yeah.
reports.
Oh my god, it's so freaking hilarious, Nikki. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, because he says something along the lines of not. He's like, I'm not usually a proponent of violence or something, and he turns around and shoots a gun.
Oh no! You did show that. Yeah.
Oh. Joe Shabadoo has a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you could join Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Joe Shabadoo says, people of Pod, do you have any gaming white whales? As in certain challenges, final bosses, wild completionist achievements, or crazy endgame gauntlet obstacle courses that haunt you to this day? Do you worry that they will forever elude you as your gaming prowess possibly begins to fade? I don't mean the bearer of existential dread. Fear not. I recently conquered one of mine after stepping away from the game for over a decade. I beat the CPU high score in the endless mode of art style Cubello. To my surprise, I think the additional years helped me. That game requires a calm mind and steady hand at the highest levels rather than twitch reflexes. Yes, I have a white whale. It's one that came to mind right away. I'm sure I have others, but I have one definitive white whale. Beat Battletoads legitimately. I've never beaten it legitimately. I've beaten it through the use of Game Genie.
You have?
Yeah.
I know. I remember playing that with Game Genie, and we still couldn't.
I
Like
have
that
done it.
tower. We were just
Yeah.
like, this is absurd.
I have done, but I like it took obviously it took a lot
Also,
of
it's
replaying. It came
impossible
out
to beat,
decades
right?
ago.
Because that one glitch.
Only in two
Two-player.
player. I have beaten it game. I have beaten all the levels individually, but I've not done it in a run without Game Genie. So I'm not considering you can't warp. Like I would allow warps and everything, but I cannot get it done. I've tried and tried. I'll go back to it every once in a while, and I'll be like, this is how it always goes. I'm like, well, let's see if my gaming skills suck now, and I try and beat the turbo tunnel, and then I beat the turbo tunnel, and I'm like, all right, let's see how good I can do. And then something in my head is like, this is going to be the time we beat Battletoads, and it hasn't happened yet. But I will not give up. So that's my gaming white whale. Anybody else gaming white whales?
Pretty much any game I pick up, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never beat Super Mario Bros.
See, that's easily attainable. You could do that, no doubt. No, I mean now, like you've beaten so many harder games.
Two-dimensional games get inside my head. Can't do
You've
it.
beaten more difficult 2D games.
What? There we have it.
I can't name one off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's
there isn't
games. Well, I would love to see 2023 be the year where you beat Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Oh, that's what I just said.
No,
Yeah,
maybe the year after.
Do any white whales?
You know, I luckily don't get hung up on beating games. At least as a kid, I couldn't. Otherwise, I would have been a really frustrated kid. I didn't like beat anything.
Well, remember, it doesn't have to be beating the game. It can be a personal achievement in the game, something you'd like to do and just haven't done yet.
Yeah, you know, that's another thing. Like, I don't like to challenge myself. It's not a healthy thing. You should definitely challenge yourself, kids. But like, I don't know. Like, if I, you know, like somebody the other week was just like, "Oh, you love Final Fantasy VII. What's your take on the kaiju weapons?" It's like, well, those are optional bosses. I'm not going to fight those. Like,
what am I crazy?
You know, but it's your favorite game. No, I can't be bothered. So like, you know, I just, I don't know. I don't really get hung up like that. Probably for the best. Otherwise, I would get too frustrated. But
that is very
yeah,
funny.
My problem is replaying games that I know too well.
It's very funny when you think about it. Like Final Fantasy VII is one of your favorite games, and somebody's like, "New content for this game," and you're like, "Nope, not for me." But I do the same thing with Star Fox 64, or Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. I run the same route because I love that route so much, and I haven't seen the other levels, so I got no room to mock you for what you're doing because I do it too.
Well, that might be, out of all the raw meat isms, that might be the most interesting to me because I don't know. Maybe you can explain it to me once again, but you explain everything so well when they seem inexplicable to me. But this one is quite strange. Like, wouldn't you, as somebody who loves video games, loves Nintendo, loves Star Fox, wouldn't you have ever taken the other path? And why wouldn't you want, like, yeah, it's interesting.
Well, it all started back in the day because when I was going through Star Fox, if I had trouble making it through a level, this goes back to the challenge thing. I would not deviate from the course because I'm like, I'm going to beat that level. And then eventually I saw my way through the game. And then when I went to revisit it, you know, the first time I was like, I want to revisit my memories. So I went back and played the levels and I was like, man, I love these levels. And then every time since then, I've been like, I don't want to experience Star Fox if I'm not going to play those levels. Now, in the real world, I could just, you know, replay those levels anytime I wanted and try different paths. But whenever I sit down to play the game, whenever it is, I'm like, I want to revisit why I love Star Fox, and why I love it is that particular part of why I love it is part of that particular path that I go through. So,
do you think will come a day where you get so disheartened that they're not making more Star Fox games that you go back and play that second path and pretend it's like a sequel or like DLC sequel or something?
That's a great line of thinking, but you're missing one fatal flaw. As a Star Fox fan, I already know that Nintendo doesn't care about Star Fox, so I never expect there to be a new one. So I've already relegated myself to that fact. But I am sure, you know what? I don't have a 2023 resolution. That's my resolution. I will play a new path in the original Star Fox. You got to start on Corneria. You got to start on Corneria. But after that, free and breezy, baby. I'm going a whole new route.
Do you think that if Nintendo set up an elaborate prank for you and like invited you to New York City and was like, "Oh, we're giving you a sneak peek at like a new Star Fox," if it was just those, like that side mission, you've played it before, you've at least seen it, right? You'd know that it wasn't like some super retro DLC that they were doing.
Yeah, I should know. Yeah, I don't know them as well as the one route, but yeah, I should be able to pick it out. So,
Well, you'd be the one guy that wouldn't be upset that they didn't change the graphics at all.
That's true. You know how much I would love a Star Fox that looks like that now. Just all I want, the only thing I would want it to be is HD, which is the default nowadays. Like if I could get an HD Star Fox that looked like that, oh, man, what I wouldn't give for that. That would be lovely. Because I like the imagination of games better than the cemented look of a game. Like I like when I look at the abstract more than I see the defined. So, yeah, I'd be all about that. I would be all about that. That's why I almost crapped my pants when Capcom revealed Mega Man 9. I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe they're going back to this look. But yeah, we got Star Fox 2 officially finished and released, so that was like a dream come true for me. So that was a great experience. But yeah, I don't see them doing that. But Nintendo's done crazier stuff. Who knows? Thank you for the question, Joe Shabadoo. And now let us do some music.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Do Mom Brain a solid and put music in the title. But please feel free to send as many songs as you want. Because just like questions, the day the music dies is the day the songs stop coming in. So,
All right. Well, this first song comes from Nico Darunia.
this is familiar.
Yeah, you played it.
SteamWorld something?
Yes.
Dig?
Not Dig.
Heist?
Heist. SteamWorld Heist.
Great music in all those games.
This is a nice little jam.
Great franchise in general. Not a bad game in the SteamWorld series. Although I haven't played the very, very first one, so I don't know. Because I'm not. You haven't either. It's SteamWorld Tower Defense.
Oh.
And I
Somebody
don't like tower defense games. Yeah.
But they make games you like to play.
I should try. Yeah, I don't know if it's on PC. It was on DSiWare.
Make games in a way that's fun for you to play games you
It's
normally
very true.
wouldn't
They've
enjoy.
done that with multiple genres.
All right.
Except for that SteamWorld
So
Dig puzzle game.
Blinded by Daylight
No,
says,
Shovel Knight Dig. Never mind.
I didn't like that.
damn it, missed most of the live podcast. Happy New Year, y'all. Well,
Who
don't
says
worry.
this?
Blinded by Daylight.
Well, listen, we got you for a little bit, and that's all that matters.
And the Super Sanchez says, oh man, I'm late. I was putting up my parents' new security cameras. Well, we're at your parents' house right now. Are they working?
I'm glad you're keeping your parents safe. Helping.
I hope it makes noises to spook them, like 90s movie security noises, like enhanced stuff like that.
My parents have my dad was like, you need security cameras, and you need. And I was like,
No,
remember?
I don't, Dad. My significant other is home 24/7.
Well, that's not true.
I am security.
This one comes from.
Although if anybody broke in, you'd be like, okay, yeah, just take whatever.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm updating.
That's
Room
right.
upstairs, good. That room's good. Just not back here.
That's right.
No downstairs.
This.
Hey, do you have any TikToks?
I forgot to tell you. My sister came to steal one of my headsets. I told you that part, right?
No.
My sister started playing Fortnite. She wanted a headset. I said, I got $1 million. She was going to come over one day. I never heard from her. Of course, when I went on my walk, she got in touch. And I was literally the furthest away I could get. I was down by the funeral home. I said, I'm not going to be back for a half hour. She said she was going to be there in 10 minutes. I was like, here's how you get in the house. I told her the whole thing. She did it, left, said it was fine, blah, whatever. I get home. I go to reach in and get the hidden key. Not there. And I'm like, she locked me out of the house. She is shorter than I am. She hung it on a nail lower than the nail it's usually on. And I didn't even know that nail was there.
Yeah, just let everybody know how to get in the house.
Oh my God. So anyway, I called her and I was like, you locked me out of the house. And she's like, no, I didn't. I put it back where it was supposed to go. And I had to look and I was like, oh,
Had to use his old
because
peepers.
you're a little, well, I usually just reach my hand into place and grab it off the nail. But it was lower than usual. So I really thought, I was like, that's it. I'm locked out of the house until I would have been like 3 days later. You come
You're
home.
gonna have to change that nail to a screw now, so no one knows what he's talking about.
No, now you're going to have to put nails all over the house and make it look like Hellraiser's house.
Our house is littered with nails like Home Alone. They're just all on the floor and you're going to step on one basically. Next song, Mom Brain.
This one comes from Human Fart.
Oh, a classic. Yeah, he gets it right away. In case anybody didn't hear, Mickey
That's
Mouse
a white
Capades.
elephant. What is it? A white whale?
White
A
whale.
whale.
A white
White
whale for me.
elephant.
Definitely.
That'd be a hell of a white elephant gift. I'd take that. Nikki Hill, how far did you make it?
I don't know if I've ever gotten past the wave, the second level.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
going to ask if
yeah.
you gave up at the forest.
Oh no, the forest.
Because I figured you'd get to the
And
forest.
it's not
and get
about giving up.
frustrated.
It's about dying.
Oh, the forest
I'll
is
do that
the maze. Like you have to
Oh right.
make the right decisions to make it through.
Yes.
Great game.
Rough.
You're right.
Capcom.
That was from
What
Human
comes
Fart.
after that? Maybe I did do it. Maybe I did pass it.
Turbo
A
K
pirate ship?
sends this one.
Okay. Is this Switch?
Yeah,
This has a first party feel, but I don't think it's first party.
I don't think so either.
This also has a weeb feel. Franchise?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say I don't know, unfortunately.
The Masked Singer.
I mean, it's got like an influencer vibe to it.
Fighting Hearts from Turbo K.
I
on
gotta
the
look
Switch.
this up. The name's not ringing a bell.
All right. Well, this one comes from Tony de la Mancha.
One of my favorites. You say Fighting Hearts?
Yeah.
I don't even see Fighting Hearts.
What is this?
I don't want to say it yet because I like it so much.
Keep it playing.
Fighting Hearts.
Did you close it already?
No.
Oh,
You said it's on the Switch.
Yeah, maybe that's the song name.
Yeah, I
Sayonara
don't
Lonely
see.
Hearts?
There's no Fighting Hearts on Nintendo.com.
Oh boy.
Anyone?
Game song, Fighting Hearts. Fighting Hearts. I recognize it's. I think it's Sayonara. It's Sayonara Wild Hearts. So that I did.
My
play.
apologies.
So we still got it. I said it before you
You
said
did. Yeah, that's it. Got
Sorry,
it.
Turbo K. Okay, so Tony de la Mancha sent this one.
Now this is a quintessential Game Boy Advance sound. The
Yeah.
audio is low quality and a little crunchy. Great game on GBA if you haven't played it. Drill Dozer.
Yeah.
Excellent game. Built-in rumble in the cartridge.
Amen.
Great game. First
Thank you,
game
Tony de la
I
Mancha.
ever got for review, and that was before Go
Aw,
Nintendo.
That's nice.
That was a different website I
I
worked for.
vaguely remember that.
Here comes one from Jess
I
I.
remember staring at the box and I was like, "This
What was that? Sorry.
came from Nintendo, huh?"
What game was that?
Drill Dozer.
This one comes from
Amazing.
Jess I.
This is familiar, and it's bringing back frustration. It's not going away. I thought it was.
Turok.
No.
System?
Switch.
Yeah, this is a noise from another game. I was associating it with something else. Oh, I was associating it with the noise from Kirby.
Well, it's not Kirby.
Gotta find that song now.
Is it a horror game?
It looks like it could have horror themes for sure.
Fatal Frame.
Not Fatal Frame.
I'm sorry, dude. What did you say?
Inmost.
No.
I got no clue.
Severed.
Death's Door.
Severed. I played Severed.
Severed.
Why don't I remember that?
Looks
I
like
love
a cool
Severed.
I
game.
played that on the.
Severed's fantastic.
I played that on the Wii U.
Trying
It
to
was
find a
long
Kirby
time ago.
song.
This song comes to us from Tentavision.
Sorry, what is this? Is that coming from you right now?
Yes. Oh.
blue note. This is fun.
Switch, I guess.
We.
Is this first party?
No.
Oh, it's good, and it's not first party. What are we doing here? What kind of game is this?
I played it.
You
Elements?
played it.
It's Elements.
Wow, dude, where were you?
I'm sitting over here thinking, why do I know this song? And that's why.
And Rami, this one's for you to finish out the year.
I better not be Game Boy Camera.
No. And it's from Freddie
To play
Frau.
us out?
To play us out.
Oh, thank you. One of my favorite songs in this
Shantae
entry.
of some sort?
Yeah. Let's just,
So good. I don't know what.
this is the newest game, Shantae and the Seven Sirens. New composer. The composer from all the other ones was Vert. This is a new composer, which I was very worried about. He keeps the Shantae feel. He does a little of his own stuff. Fantastic job. Did it. This part's so good. Mix the old and new.
Oh, I love it. We need a camera just on his face, man.
This part. Love it. I love it. It's such a great mix of old school Shantae noises and brand new stuff. What'd you say, Dude?
This song is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
That's not the same pleasure face.
Give me that pleasure face. Wow, thanks. That was Freddie Fro?
Yeah.
What an honor. Ending the year with Sean. Ending the year with a boner. A music boner, of course. Music boner.
Music
Definitely.
boner. Mhm.
Thank you, Freddie Fro. What did we do there? We got them all.
Oh, yeah, we got them all.
6 out of 9. Do you have a year-ending rumor for us?
Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week, starring Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a. I have a desk where I am, and this just came across it. This is true, actually. Most of these are usually rumors, as you know. But for the new year, I figured I would reveal something that is true. So I'm actually fine. I'm not sick at all. I just called out of hanging out on New Year's because
I'm fine.
Reggie is coming over to my place to bury the hatchet
For a legendary New Year's.
Yeah, he contacted me. He was like, "Look, I was wrong about the unions and about NFTs and people were complaining when I was president at Nintendo, and I just didn't want to admit it. So I'm coming to bury the hatchet, baby, and I think we're gonna be baby New Year's and daddy New Year's for New Year's.
Both in diapers, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm already wearing them, thankfully. So.
Oh, that's a hell of a way to end the year. I'm glad that's a true story too, and not a rumor. That's great. I hope you two have fun. I gotta say, little annoyed you didn't invite me for him coming over, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it next year.
You know, he said, "Don't tell anyone. This is embarrassing that I'm doing this." And so I figured.
No, I get it. Listen, men fences. I get it. Don't break bridges. Men fences.
Men fences.
Men fences. Yes.
Yeah.
Men fences. All right, everybody. That's your end of the year show. Literally on the last day of the year. If you are listening to this before the year ends, please be safe. If you are drinking and you are of age, first off, drink responsibly. Don't drive. Get someone to take care of you. If you are in trouble, it's better to handle things that way than to get yourself into trouble. So please be careful. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this year. We are very happy to have it back, as with the site as well, and your support, which never went away. So thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed the awards this year. Maybe we'll do them next year. It all depends on if Nikki Hill's going to fill out that one category or not. So we'll see.
And remember, for better or for worse, when you lay your head down at night, you just never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So, just
Nuts to butts, not butts to nuts.
I mean, if butts to nuts and nuts to butts, or no nuts to no butts,
Hell yeah.
makes you happy,
Hell yeah. Butts to butts. Nuts to nuts.
nuts to nuts.
Hell yeah.
You know?
That's a new year. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next year,
Much
everybody.
love. Much love.
Goodbye, everybody.
everyone.
Goodbye.
Stay safe.
Goodbye.
Be good to yourself and everyone around you, and love and peace, and spread it.
I love that.
Spread the love
Spread it.
and the butt
I love that.
cheeks.
Spread it. It's the end message. Well, this is the after show end of the year. So if you got anything, it's gonna be really loud for. If you got anything you want to say end of the year, got any questions, any topics for after show, I'm here, baby. You let them loose. Mariah Carey in the chat. Happy New Year. Spread those peace butts, says Giant Reggie. That's right. It's on the actual podcast. But here you go, after show. If you're watching live, this is specifically if you're watching live. A huge thank you to everybody that watches the show in general on YouTube. But if you're watching live, if you come here live every week or every other week or every once a year live, thank you so much for making 2-3 hours of your week where you're like, I'm going to spend this listening to these dumbasses talk about games. I really appreciate it. Hello, Arcade Token. Good to see you. I love doing the podcast, as I've said many times before. It's just it's my favorite part of work every single week. I look forward so much, as I've said, because of my friends virtually, being you guys, because my friends in real life, and you two as well, Mom Brain, whatever we want to call you. I'm the nuts to your butts. How about that?
Wow.
That's
really
it.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
So I feel like I had something else to say, but whatever. That's it. We did it. Is the picture in the back? Does that guy have his dick out? Oh, that picture.
That's Deux.
The Deux Michaels picture. He has something acting as a dick. It is not his actual dick. It's a garden hose. That's because if he had a stream that big, man, holy moly.
It's actually a champagne bottle.
Is it?
Yep. That's
Man, I
how you know
looked that closely. I thought it was a hose. And
yeah,
what a
that's
hose.
How good I am. That's how good I am. So, well, those of us in the business that know about modeling fake penises.
Yes.
Never mind. Yeah, no, it was just a time and place.
Look at the chat.
Sadly, hate to say, sexier time in my life. So that gives you an idea of what things are like now.
Arcade Token says, is that from the upcoming GoNintendo calendar? We will be putting that on calendars, but oddly enough, you're only allowed to drag TVs underground with that calendar. So please use them appropriately.
I have a picture.
Deux stream. It's not a peen. That's correct.
From Deux' old apartment from a Christmas party. And in it is Nicky Hill sticking his thumb out of his fly. Yeah.
It was good enough we knew it wasn't real, but it was good enough to do a double take where you're like, oh.
And I don't even know where I would have that picture because it's such an old one.
Dude, just to make sure you saw it, or if you didn't see it, Outlaws says a Magnum bottle. No doubt a Magnum bottle.
That's kind of you.
That's funny that is on YouTube stream every week. And, I never thought it looked anything near phallic. But when you see it through the splotchy nature of YouTube, it does look questionable. But we haven't gotten pinged for it, so whatever. All right, everybody. Like I always say, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have some fun.
Deux stream. It's not a peen. Thanks, Red Susan.
Have a hang out with friends and family, especially tonight. It's the new year, if that's your thing.
Or be blissfully alone.
Whatever you want to do. Here's the important part. Whether you're with friends or family or alone, you have to have tiny hot dogs. That is how the new year is rung
some at
in.
home.
We're in a family text group, and somebody started with, it's really, really foggy out. And Ramit's aunt said, how am I going to go out and get chips and little hot dogs?
You need them.
I'm sorry.
You're asking
Your
for a
aunt
bad
should
year.
have been out there already with them. Like, those things are not going to be on the shelves come whatever time she went.
I should clearly. You don't do your New Year's Eve shopping on New Year's Eve.
I bought. This is my major gripe with Costco. You buy a box of something frozen from Costco. You go to put it in your freezer, it doesn't fit. I went to put it up tall wise to slide it in there, and it was not even a quarter of an inch too tall for my shelf. Like, it's a standard freezer, Costco.
Well,
what the heck?
It's just funny. You're like, I need hot dogs for New Year's, so you go to Costco, and you're like, well, I guess it's 800 hot dogs for me.
I'm having a big party. There's going to be four or five people there.
Oh, there they are. They're burnt as hell, but I had some Anastasia B. Resin. That's a great picture.
That's just how
good.
That's how they come out, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's great. Either the buns are still like, the outside's fine, but the inside is like not cooked, or the hot dogs are burnt and shriveled. Yeah, that's what you get. So,
but I was at Costco the other day, and I was checking out, and I turned around, and somebody had a box of like soft pretzels that Costco is selling right now. I went to my car, unloaded everything, went back into the store just for the pretzels. Those don't even have hot dogs, but I needed to have them.
Ranting Robot says, if you humans are bored after the podcast, we have a bunch of silly Nintendo reviews on our YouTube channel to bring in the new year. Perfect background noise for when you're munching on little hot dogs. There you go. If you're looking for something to do tonight, check out Ranting Robot's YouTube channel.
Sorry, dude. What were you about to say?
I was about to say, I'm looking at this photograph, and I know it's the most foul looking thing, and they are burnt, but like it's just bringing back a flood. Like I wish I had thought
Yes,
of it.
you're right. Because I look at them, they look horrendous, and I want to eat them.
Horrible.
Exactly.
It's like,
They never look great, but I always want to eat at least 5 or 6.
No, Red Sousa. We're not talking about sausage rolls. Anastasia got it right. That's what we're talking about.
Are we like? I thought that was like really just my house.
Red Sousa, where are you from?
That did the little hot dogs. Like, I'm just now realizing that like they're a universal New Year's
Have
Eve.
I ever told this story about hors d'oeuvres when I was a little kid? So New Year's, we always did the little hot dogs and little finger foods. But my dad used to joke.
Houduvers?
He used to call them Houduvers.
Always.
So for the first probably 10 years of my life, I thought the little hot dogs were called Houduvers. There you go. Sure.
I do really.
I'm really sorry.
Red Sousa says Ireland. There you go.
I had a box of like a smaller box, not from Costco, of Houduvers, and
the black box.
I was gonna
was
bring
the one
them.
to get.
They were Nathan's
black box, yeah.
And I was gonna bring them here, and I'm sorry I didn't, just because I would have taken the extra trip out to deliver them to do Michael's. Because even though you're home alone, doesn't mean you gotta go without mini hot dogs.
Outlaws says my father-in-law calls them hors d'oeuvres.
I'll get them from you in the new year.
You know, Red Sousa makes a really good point. I'll find some tiny hot dogs, tiny buns harder.
Yes.
I mean,
by the way, Red
buns?
Sousa, you're in Ireland. It's got to be really close to midnight there, right? What time is it?
6 to 7, 7 to 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. It's 11:18.
Oh, the final hour.
Son of a gun, Mom Brain. Haven't seen tiny vegetarian hot dogs in veggie.
I think
pigs in blankets. They have to have them, but I just haven't kept an eye.
Yeah, maybe not.
All right, that's it. We're done. It's New
Wee
Year's.
Willie Winky's family pack.
Everybody go enjoy your New Year's Eve and your New Year's Day, and hopefully all of 2023. But as always, we will be back next week with another episode of this garbage. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
And we are
Anastasia Beaverhausen said.